Hello everybody, today I play Blackwell Unbound with developer commentary.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Dave Gilbert, and this is the
Hello.
audio commentary for Blackwell Unbound. Some of the basic stuff out of the way. You can hit any key on the keyboard to shut me up. If you get sick of my voice or you just want to get on with the game, just hit any key on the keyboard and your wish will be granted. Don't click the mouse, though. That won't work. So the two questions that everyone seems to be asking are, number one, why Lauren and Joey instead of Rosa and Joey? And number two, why the simpler graphic style? Well, number one, I'll answer that one first. First of all, this game was originally part of a much larger game called the Blackwell Convergence, which was much bigger than could possibly be created in a reasonable amount of time. So I cut some sections out of it, and some of those sections were flashback sections where you play Lauren and Joey in the 70s. So I cut them out. And then as time went on, I realized, hey, Conversions is still going to take a long time to make. Wouldn't it be nice if I could release something kind of in the meantime? Something small and simple, just to get something out there, to get people's attention back on me and earn some money and blah, blah, blah. So I took the sections that I cut out and I looked at them and I thought, hey, this does fit together really well on its own as a standalone game. And so I put a small team together. I got Aaron Robinson on board, and I found Thomas Reagan, and we put together the game. And I wanted to keep it simple because I wanted to get it out reasonably quickly, using whatever was left over in the budget, which wasn't much, by the way. But I think it turned out really well, and so that's why I created this game the way it was created. Anyway, click that new game button and play the game. You don't want to listen to me talk anymore.
Okay, so it was supposed to be in the 70s. I don't remember, is it still in the 70s, or why do I have the impression that Unbound is in the 80s? But I also remember the Legacy, I think they were dated so that Lauren starts doing this around the 70s. I don't know. Oh well. And once again, I'm gonna probably skip through a lot of dialogue.
Infinity. I've been told it's beautiful, but I don't think it's anything special. But when you live like me, most things become quite ordinary. Life, death, tormented souls, it's all the same to me. Sometimes I wonder if anything will ever surprise me again. Sometimes I wonder if I even care.
When I sat down to play this game for the very, very first time after I finished programming, I realized I didn't like how it started. It started off with Lauren slamming the door and yelling at Joey, and they have that little interchange, which is funny and cute, and it's a nice way to introduce the characters, but it set the wrong tone for the start of the game. So I went and did this little quick scene, which I think changes the tone just enough to give that funny exchange later a little bit more of a darker overtone, and makes it a little bit more sad now that you know a little bit more about who Lauren is. So that's why I added this. It wasn't there originally.
And stay out!
Aw, hey, you know I don't like that. What's your beef anyway?
Returning for the third time in a Wajida game is, of course, Abe Goldfarb, who is reprising his role of Joey Malone. Working with Abe, as I've said many times before in previous games, commentary, is always a pleasure, and Abe has become very good at the whole voice acting thing. I've noticed in doing voice acting and directing voice acting, there's a lot of technique involved with holding your breath a certain way and stuff like that. And it's really hard for a seasoned actor to get their head around because they're used to projecting and emoting and using their breath a lot to convey emotion. And when you do voice acting, you can't do that. And Abe has really gotten a handle on it. Joey has a much wider range of emotions in this game, and Abe is such a good actor. And if you listen to the blooper reel, it sounds like it's all fun and games. He cracks a lot of jokes. He is a very funny guy. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, the guy is totally focused, totally serious, and does amazing work. He's just one of the best actors I know, and it's always great to work with him.
I am not talking to you.
Oh, promises, promises. So what's next on the list?
What's next? The balcony.
Why, gonna throw yourself over and join me?
No, I'm having a cigarette.
Great, you want a cigarette. What am I supposed to do?
You can do whatever the hell you like. Just one. Then I can get on with this.
Danny did a funny thing when doing some of Lauren's lines. She took a pen off the desk and would hold it between her fingers like a cigarette and deliver her lines holding that fake cigarette. And it would sometimes take a drag from it. And it really was kind of funny. I wish I had taken some pictures. It was really funny just to watch her hold this pen in her hand, delivering these lines like she's holding a cigarette. It was pretty cool.
I have no interest in that thing. Just an old doormat. It's covered in cigarette burns.
Let's see if
A
Dave
jar
says
stuffed with
something
loose cash.
about some days.
If I'd known I could be photographed, I would have shown my good side. That's Jack, her kid brother. He's alright, I guess. Oh, look, it's her. Good old Patricia Blackwell, also known as Cleopatra, Queen of Denial. Spent 7 months bonded to that woman. She never spoke to me once. Look how young she was. She's got to be 18, 19? It's been over 10 years. Time flies.
This now reminds me, I think in next step we got to re-examine the photos when, you know, there
A
was
jar
thing.
stuffed with loose cash.
See Joey.
A pair of muddy boots. Man, that is an old coat. I think soldiers wore it during the Civil War.
Okay. Use it.
I can't wear the thing.
Okay.
Oh, look, another ashtray. I can't remember the last time she washed that thing. Just a radio.
Just that.
Tackiest thing I ever saw. Another ashtray. What a surprise. It's her phone. Oh, look, another ashtray. I have no interest.
It's reversed like find all the ashtrays.
She keeps smoking, and yet that pile never seems to grow smaller. Some kind of recording device. She babbles into it every morning. She calls this thing a Polaroid. Takes pictures instantly. It's pretty amazing. Just another one of the many mugs that plague this place. It's her phone book. The local rag. An ashtray. Full, of course.
Of course.
That thing is deader than, well, me.
Okay. Alright. Oh, there is one more.
An old rain bucket, filled with cigarette butts. Hi-ho, the glamorous life. Hey,
What?
There a question.
why the heck are you so mad?
You honestly don't know.
I have no idea.
Typical. If you don't know, I'm sure as hell not going to tell you.
How about the roundabout insult?
You done moping? Or do you want to grind your teeth some more?
Christ, Joey. Can't you just leave it for 1 minute?
And direct insult?
Take another drag of that cigarette, darling. You get real ugly when you stop smoking.
Oh? Is that right?
Well,
ugly, am I?
Take it easy, dear. It was just a little joke.
A joke, yeah. I'm a riot. Like today, when those pipes burst.
Oh. Wait, is that what's got you in such a guff?
I got soaked, and you just laughed.
What was I supposed to do? Give you a towel?
It was cold and wet and slimy. It wasn't funny.
You should have seen the look on your face. The way you jumped up and down and ran in circles, squealing.
Still wasn't funny.
If you say so.
Writing the dialogue between Lauren and Joey was a pleasure. It was so easy, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because writing the dialogue between Rosa and Joey in Blackwell Legacy was a heck of a lot more challenging. With Unbound, with Lauren and Joey, these two characters already know each other, so they can say anything to each other. They can banter, they can joke around, they've known each other for a long time. With Rosa and Joey, it was totally different, because these are two characters who were getting to know each other over the course of the game. So I had to, whenever I gave them dialogue, I had to be aware of what stage of the relationship they were in. So there was a lot more challenge with Legacy than there was with Unbound. And I enjoyed writing for these two characters a lot. I'm trying to think of other adventure game protagonists that smoke. I think Manny Calavera smoked, but he was dead, so it didn't really matter. I can't think of any other player characters that smoke as much as Lauren. I really like the fact that she smokes. It was a decision I made way, way, way back in 2004 when I was originally designing the backstory. I knew that if I was ever going to do a flashback with Lauren, that she would be a chain smoker. It really establishes this addictive, self-destructive personality that she has. And I love the animations. It made things a lot more difficult. The whole animation of her smoking, I had to double the animations, like her walking, her talking, all this other stuff. But I like the fact that she'll just kind of randomly light up. If you control Joey for too long, Lauren will get bored and just light up and start smoking. During certain conversations, she'll start smoking. She'll take a drag at certain moments. It added a little bit of nice little dramatic pauses, added some drama to it. And I really like the smoking. Really works well, and she smokes a heck of a lot. I actually added a little function that keeps track of how many cigarettes she smokes. So at the end of the game, you'll find out how many cigarettes she smoked over the course of the game. I like this a lot.
Okay, I'm finished. Let's get on with this.
There's a few things we haven't checked, right?
Yes, I've got the list right here.
Well, let's check it. Every other case today has been a false alarm. Maybe this will be an easy night.
Maybe. But then maybe not.
Ugh. Every one of these leads has been a dead end. Just 2 more to go and we can call it a night.
In the previous Blackwell game, the Blackwell Legacy, the pacing was kept pretty slow. And I did that on purpose because in order to introduce this supernatural element to a world that was really grounded in reality, I had to keep it kind of slow paced. It would be too jarring if the pace was any faster. And with this game, I didn't have to do that because it's already been established, and so you could just get right into it. And that's why I wrote this case list. There was no messing around with slow exposition. You just got this case list and bam, you're right into the thick of it. So that's why I designed it this way.
This one looks promising. Residents have reported strange music on the promenade late at night. Nobody knows where it comes from. A development corporation has halted construction after a series of accidents. Probably nothing, but worth checking out. I guess I could take this along.
Whoa, she just threw it on the floor?
Got it.
The carpet or whatever she has?
Jack Blackwell, my brother. Haven't seen him in years. He's now living with his fiancée Maria. Good for him.
Oops.
I remember that day. I was in college and visiting home for Christmas. I had a pack of cigarettes hidden in my back pocket. Nobody noticed.
Except for maybe Joey?
Patricia Blackwell, my mom. She was a medium, like me, but it drove her insane. I guess Joey has that effect on people. There he is, the family legacy. Today's paper. It's tabloid crap, but it gives us most of our leads.
Okay, let's see. Joey?
Let's talk, Joey.
Yeah, doll?
Say cheese.
Having fun?
Yep,
I haven't taken any notes.
fair enough. Okay, let's
This is a
listen to
little
some of
recording
these.
device. It's called a dictaphone. I've been using it to record my dreams. Testing, testing. Hello? Does my voice really sound like that? Gotta cut back on the cigarettes. Anyway, I've been having some extreme dreams lately, but I don't remember any of them. I get the strangest feeling that they're important, but I can't put my finger on why. I'm keeping this recorder next to my pillow so I can record what I remember as soon as I wake up. First entry, February 21st? Is it? God, my head. I dreamed tonight. It's already fading away. I saw my mother. She was calling out to me and waving. She was smiling, and her face was bright. So bright. I see a child, 7 or 8 years old. She's surrounded by other children, but she's all alone. I call out to her, but she doesn't hear. Something is wrong. With me? With her? It's fading. I see a man in tattered clothes. He looks at me and screams. I look in a mirror and see a huge horned demon. For some reason, I'm not surprised. I'm on the Brooklyn Bridge staring at the seaport. I'm alone, strangely at peace. The water, it looks so cool and inviting. Suddenly I'm in the water, floating. I dreamt I was in a strange room. The walls are a deep pink, and there are books and papers everywhere. Joey is behind me, trying to get my attention. I ignore him. I feel strangely good about it. I see Jack and Maria. They're far away, but I know it's them. I see his glasses and her bright red hair. I want to join them. I run to catch up. I almost get there, but I trip and fall. Maria turns to help me up, but it's not Maria. She's got red hair like Maria, but it's someone else. She says she's sorry. Then I wake up. I'm in a hospital room. There's a Chinese girl lying on the bed. I want to help her, but she doesn't want to be helped. Suddenly, I say a magic word, and her eyes widen with trust. I've made a friend, and yet I don't want her friendship. I run away. I'm on a fire escape. I'm talking with a man who wants to be my friend. Suddenly, his face turns blue. He can't breathe. He dies. It's my fault. I could have stopped it.
Could you have?
I'm in a huge house. I see
Oh, no.
gas lamps and electric lights. I look into a mirror and see an old woman. She reaches out of the mirror to grab me. I take her hand and hold it tight. Then I wake up. I'm on a train speeding away into the night. Next to me is a man. I know nothing about him, yet I trust him. I think I love him. Then he disappears. What did I do wrong? I'm trapped somewhere bright. I see my mother and a woman I don't recognize. I see Joey far away, calling out for me. We're fighting for our lives, but it's too late. The world goes dark. I hate that dream.
Okay. I guess. Dave has nothing to say.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Danny Marco, who plays Lauren
Oh.
here, is without a doubt the most professional actress I've ever worked with. Not only that, is the most accomplished actress I've ever worked with. She is a minor star, and I'm not exaggerating. She's been in a movie with Chris Rock. She's had major one-off roles in Sopranos and Law and Order. She's had leading roles in many independent films. She's done voiceovers for tons of commercials. She's been in a bunch of commercials. I met her at a party hosted by Heavy Melody. They're an audio house here in New York, and they do audio and music for games. I was introduced to her as a voice actress, and of course, being a person who always needs voice actors, I was talking to her, and I realized after 2 minutes she'd be perfect for Lauren. Absolutely perfect. She had this wonderful, sultry, smoky voice, perfect for something like this. And I asked her, there was a lot of free alcohol at this party, so I kind of, after talking to her, I was like, hey, I want to be in my game, and I was a little drunk, but she listened to what I had to say, was interested in the project, was willing to work for cheap, meaning I'd buy her pizza after every recording session, and a couple of days later, after the alcohol had worn off, I got back in touch with her just to make sure she was still interested, and she was, and it was just an absolute honor and pleasure to work with her. It was an interesting experience working with someone who had such a full schedule. Like, she'd come over to my little apartment, put on this cheap little headset mic, and tell me, yeah, I just came back from shooting an Oil of Olay commercial where she'd be the girl, like, splashing the water on her face, or she was doing, she's traveling to London for a photo shoot, or somewhere. She's always traveling somewhere or coming back from somewhere, and in between, she would work on my little game. So it was flattering that she was interested in this project.
Right behind you.
Since most of my games, or just about all of my games, take place in New York City, many people asked me if I was ever going to deal with the whole World Trade Center thing. And I always said no, or at least not yet. It's not something I feel very emotionally, mentally equipped to deal with. Being a New Yorker, having been in the city at that time, that's not a place I wanted to go. It was a very bad place for me to go. But since this game takes place during a time when the World Trade Center existed, it seemed like a good opportunity to at least acknowledge it. And also it serves as a nice reminder that this game does not take place in the present. Everyone in the world knows about this, and every time you go to the map screen, bam, there's this huge friggin' reminder that this game takes place in the past. So that worked pretty well.
Okay. Let's do this one first.
Well, this is it.
Yep. All's quiet so far.
Construction, I guess, site out is what you called it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the later ones you did, I guess, post-Europe,
Yes,
you could
well,
call it.
I must have just been so inspired by Europe because I actually used 2-point perspective for that one.
Swanky.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even know I could do 2-point perspective, but Kevin's an artist, so I just asked him.
What is 2-point perspective? Yeah, I'm artistically dead.
Oh, okay. You've got, instead of the normal 1 vanishing point where the lines go, you've got 2 vanishing points. One of them is like off the right side of the screen, and one of them's towards the end of that road on the left.
I see. Cool.
Yeah.
So did you use any reference pictures of New York? Actually, I sent you a reference picture of New York.
Yeah, you did. It wasn't quite this perspective, though. It was like from a distance, so it was just a long flat wall. And the post-no bills thing was kind of an afterthought, but I thought it'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. Yeah, and you had, remember you didn't actually have a door at first.
Yeah. I got lazy, and you're like, put in a door. I'm like, oh, fine. Joey can flip through walls, but I have to put in a door. That's fine.
I'm such a slave driver, I know.
True.
Alright.
The gate is locked. I can't get through.
Joey.
Alright, I'm going in to check it out. Stay close to the wall.
Yeah, sure. Let me know what you find.
I really like the fact that you can control Joey in this game. One of the common criticisms of Blackwell Legacy was that Joey didn't do anything useful. He just kind of tagged along, made some comments, and if he ever actually did anything, it wasn't anything that the player could control. It just kind of happened. And that's something I definitely wanted to change with the follow-up games. I wanted the player to be able to control Joey. I wanted the player to be Joey, wander around, look at objects, talk to Lauren. Joey has access to her notebook. He can make comments on things. He'll give the player feedback. He actually is integral to solving a few puzzles. And there's one area that only Joey can enter. I really wanted to make him useful. I wanted him to be an equal partner in this relationship, not just a sidekick. So this is something you're going to be seeing in the future games.
Nice.
Now, I want to talk, let's see, we'll go to the construction site, the site in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like this, I saw this, I was really impressed because it really looked like you put a lot of detail into all the
The
dirt.
dirt was difficult. I had no idea how to draw dirt, so I just sat down with some reference pictures and went to town, I guess. I had to look
Yeah,
up
because I,
like the kind of tracks that caterpillars make and how to draw a bull or what are they called? Backhoe and yeah.
because I know when I was playing around with the layers in Photoshop, I would remove one layer and like certain bits of dirt would disappear. So you really layered them on top of each other, which looked like it took a long time.
That's
How long
more
did
of
it
a
take you?
reflection of my own disorganization than it is an artistic choice. But anyways, thank you.
Hello? Anyone here? Ah,
Well, what do you see?
Ah,
Is it clean?
I'm afraid not.
Well, hurry up then. I feel stupid pressed up against this wall.
When designing this game, the whole section with Isaac fell into place really quickly, really easily. This section took a little longer. I knew I wanted to have something take place at a construction site. I was walking home one night, really late at night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, here in New York. It's not something I'd recommend. But I passed a construction site, and the construction site at night, abandoned, just this, half a foundation in the ground. There was a bulldozer, just something about that just really struck me as being kind of spooky and weird. And it was this weird thing in my head, and the whole thing kind of fell into place from there.
They want to fight? I'll give them one.
okay.
Trying to get rid of me, will they?
So, construction sites, bugs at night. See, a little
The
bit
foreman's
spooky
office, you
today.
kind of took that, and you added a whole bunch of extra stuff to it.
More
Which I thought
crap
was
on the
cool.
desk. That's my signature move. I threw in the vintage picture of Farrah Fawcett from that famous poster on the calendar there. You can hardly tell,
Yeah.
but it's probably the most pixelated she's ever been.
We'll get the diehard Farrah Fawcett fans to call in and be all excited.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe
little
we'll
something
get
for
some-
them. They don't get enough these days.
Get some get some calls from Farrah Fawcett's lawyers. Who knows?
Pretty funny. On the desk, there's some blueprints sitting there. They're actually the blueprints from the foreground of Nanobots. If I ever get around to finishing that game, I kind of flip them around, and you can hardly tell that there's a little robot on there, but he's there, and now you know.
Now you know, and you cannot unsee it. Wonder if there's any records in Ogo, for example, of Farrah
It
Fawcett
says Seagram Realty.
in the
I guess they're the guys who own this construction outfit.
future games.
Let's take a look-see.
Okay, so I think I was just supposed to remember Harriet Sherman and Serum Realty.
I can't make heads or tails out of this thing. That looks profoundly useless. The name under the picture is Farrah Fawcett. I wonder if she likes dead guys.
In playing this game, I just had a worrying thought, and I went on to Wikipedia and looked up Charlie's Angels, and I discovered that Charlie's Angels did not go on the air until 1976, which means that that picture of Farrah Fawcett probably was taken a little bit later. So, oops. I'll just say that that calendar can time travel and be done with it. It's a one inconsistency I think I can live with.
Okay. And now you know.
Cheap material. I want nothing to do with it. Just a bunch of drawers. Just a fan. Boy, if I could touch it, that would sure be great.
I was thinking more like blow on it. Alright.
Oh, look, an ashtray. Maybe the kid should get a job here.
That's nice. That's a cool line. Alright, am I supposed to talk to her? I
Where
don't
else can I go?
think I can get anything out of her, but maybe I'll try.
Hello out there.
Joey, what are you doing in the...
I need you.
What?
Dude, spin around in a circle.
Spin around in a circle.
What? Why?
I'll explain later. Just do it.
Okay. What did that accomplish?
I can't believe you just did that.
I hate you so much.
Okay.
This place is filthy.
So you talk to her, you get
Where
loaded
else
into
can
her
I
now.
go?
I don't think she gives any other information. Oh well, I'm
They want to fight? I'll
here
give you
already.
one.
Why not?
Where else can I go?
Hey there.
Huh? Could someone be there? Of course, no one.
Hey, lady, I'm talking.
No, nobody. Only way and to do that.
I'll be.
Where else can I go?
Hello out there.
Joey,
Hello
what are you
out
doing in there?
Let's see. Ask about yourself.
Miss me?
Yeah, sure. Like I miss toe fungus.
How's it going on the outside?
Oh, it's a thrill a minute out here. Like a day at the circus.
I need you to do something.
It better be good.
Knock on the gate door.
Knock on the door? Why?
I'll explain later. Just do it.
Just do it.
A knock? Oh my, a visitor. Just a minute. Is my hair okay?
Yeah,
It'll have to do.
they will have to do it again.
Hello?
You notice that through most of the commentary. I talk about actors and acting and the feedback I got from actors and how they might have changed something or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Added lines, removed lines. I like to get feedback from actors because they generally have a better instinct for what sounds right for their particular character than I do. And this isn't a total dig on me and my writing ability. You ask any director or playwright, the actors are always making suggestions, and any good director, any good playwright will accept them, or at least take them seriously, and I always take them seriously. And one great example is this character. I originally wrote this character as this very kind of mousy, scared woman living, thinks she's like huddled up in her apartment, and originally I had Shen play her that way, and then at one point, she kind of stood straight in her chair and delivered a line, and had this aura of haughtiness, this snottiness come through. And I thought, you know what? That is absolutely perfect. Read it like that. And we redid all of her lines like that. And it worked out really well because we did her lines before we did Joey's lines. So we could have Joey reply to that haughtiness, and it worked really well. It really redefined the entire character just in the performance. So if you ever wonder whether voice acting makes a difference, here's a good example.
Well, thank you.
Hello, miss.
Hello? Can I help you?
Introduce
I'm Joey
yourself.
Malone, miss.
Well, Mr. Malone, to what do I owe the pleasure?
What's your name?
Excuse me?
Your name.
My name is on the door.
No,
If
no.
you don't...
I'm a bit lost.
Sorry. Are you looking for a...
Apartment? You mean we're inside a building?
Yes? Are you feeling alright?
You're not in a building, lady. Take a look around.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're on the 3rd floor. Look, there's the elevator down the hall.
Ah, right. Yeah, I see it. Are you sure you're feeling all right? You're not in a building, lady.
What are you talking about?
We're on the ground. We're outside.
You, sir, need glasses. Look at the door. It says D, clear as day.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Gee,
Look,
clear
I've had
as
enough.
day.
I'm not going to stand here. Who are you?
I'm with the Census Bureau, and I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Where's your clipboard?
Excuse me?
I thought all census...
Ah, no. Not anymore. Cutbacks.
You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One
This kind of
them?
reminds
Who
me of
is them?
I
Wrinkle
told
Free
you all
Paper.
before. The only way you is as a goodbye. Trying to get rid of me, will they?
Okay.
So, is it all taken care of?
Nope.
Not yet, dear.
Slacker.
Nope. I can't leave unless she goes with me.
Okay, so she has to leave.
Talk about
What
the map.
Oh, the map, yes. Tell me, you spent a long
What the
time on that
hell?
map.
Yep.
And you're still working on it,
Still
right?
working on it. Some more details to finish up. But yeah, I thought it'd be neat instead of having the top-down view to have it be kind of a city skyline and just label the different locations around New York. I know how much you like pointing out in the city where everything is, so I try to make it as accurate as possible based on your sketch you
You
sent
know
me.
me too well.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get this in the final version, but I wanted to have like moving clouds going in the background and maybe some boats going through the water, just because I think it'd be cute to sit there and watch the map and be like, oh, okay, I guess I can move on. Oh, but a sailboat just went by.
Someone kind of, one of the beta testers mentioned, like, wow, this is a really long night.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, yeah, like, how long is this over? Just over one night? Like, suspension of disbelief.
Lauren has a scooter that we never get to see, but
yeah, she actually has a jetpack that she just
she flies
straps
on Joey.
Yeah, she just walks outside, straps on this jetpack. You know, she's got all that cigarette fumes inside of her. Anyway.
Well, those would have been nice additions to the map, but then again, it's just the map. I don't know.
We should talk about the apartment, because that's the one. That was one of the first ones.
Yeah, the map is nice.
Yeah.
So,
So you told me you based a lot of that on your grandmother's place.
It's true. It hasn't changed much since the 70s, so it was perfect. Also, I called up my mom, and I'm like, tell me some things that happened in the 70s, or some horrible decorating choices people made. She's like, well, a lot of lime green, horrible macrame flower baskets, and like a certain kind of alcohol that they always use as candle holders. I forget what it was, but I looked at the picture, and that's sitting on the shelf there. The TV was based on my old TV from when I was a kid, because we always had foil on the end of it. I don't know. It's a subtle thing.
Rabbit ears.
Yeah, rabbit ears, because we didn't have cable. This is back in the old country, where I live now.
Back in the old country.
No, my family moved to the States, and I came back here. But anyway, that coffee table is also in my house right now. And the hideous orange pillow, my grandma has that couch, so...
okay, phone book. Would there be something like a phone number? See, probably nothing. Wait, I'm not sure that's how it was spelled.
There's no entry for that. There's no entry for that.
Oh well. I don't remember how it was spelled. Cymon?
Got her. There's a phone number but no address.
Okay, and... Realty.
There's no entry for that.
Oops.
There's no listing. They must be based out of town.
Really? Was this the case? Oh well.
Hello?
Is this Harriet Sherman?
Who is this?
My name is Lauren Blackwell.
What do you want?
What do you want?
I'm calling from Seagram Realty.
Really?
Oh, why didn't you say? You've got my $60.
Well, I'm
Yes,
sure
I
now.
do. But before I give it to you, I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Fine. Come on by and I'll answer whatever you want. 24 Rector, down in Battery Park City. Just buzz up.
So, Joey,
Yeah?
got any spare cash on you?
Sorry, left my wallet in my other pants. Probably the pair I was buried in.
Probably.
It's my rainy day jar. I put some money in here whenever I think of it. It's a trick I learned from my mother. There's around $60 in here now.
Around $6.
Things I'll do for a case. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back.
And you're still working on this background right now, the Harriet's Kitchen.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't actually seen this one yet.
Nope. Basically, it's based on my other grandma's kitchen, which is very pastel and full of old lady kitsch. Like, my grandma doesn't have a dog, but there's gonna be a little dog in a basket sitting there, and probably a Pekingese, because they're old lady dogs. I just googled old lady dog, and that was the first one that came up, so I figured that's what it should be.
Wow.
I guess this will be a Blackwell tradition. It'll have to be a dog or a cat in every single game. All right.
As far as my artistic inspiration goes. Oh, I need a picture of a building. I'll just Google building.
What did we do before Google?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a bunch of, like, little, I don't know, angel paraphernalia, and around the top of the room there's, like, some shell motif or something, you know. Old lady stuff.
Wow, that is really kitschy.
I know kitsch, my friend.
It's open! I'm back here in the kitchen!
Harriet?
Mrs. Sherman, if you don't mind. You from Seagram Realty?
Yes.
Have you got my money?
I wanted to
Yes.
ask you a few questions first.
You're welcome to ask me anything you'd like, after you give me the money. You got it?
I met Shelley
Yes.
Smith at just the right time. The role of Harriet was originally given to Ruth Weber, who did the voice of Nishanti and Rodshri in previous games. And she lives kind of far away, and she was really busy, stuff going on, wasn't able to come out here to do the lines, and admitted that to me. And I'm like, all right, fine, don't worry, I'll find somebody else. And so I had to go around finding somebody else. And then I saw a show that Abe was directing called The Magic of Mrs. Crowling. And I saw this woman, Shelley Smith, who played this middle-aged woman, just this crazy, very eccentric middle-aged woman, kind of a drug addict, go around smashing furniture. It was great. But
Wait, what?
after the show, there was an after party, and I started talking with her because I just loved her energy. And I just kind of on a whim said, could you do an old lady voice? And she's, yeah, sure, no problem, I can do that. So she gave me her card, I called her up, she came over, did the lines.
I sure do.
It's about time. Give it here.
Here you go.
Give it up.
It's all here, sure enough. I'd say thanks if I hadn't had to fight tooth and nail to get it.
What teeth, you old bat?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I won't. Now, you wanted to ask me something?
I mentioned earlier how I discovered Shelley Smith, as it were, the woman who's playing Harriet here. Shelley kept making me laugh. It was probably the longest recording session ever because I just could not stop laughing. This woman has so much energy, and she is actually the first actor in general, who I had to set the audio level lower than Abe's. Abe has a really strong voice, as you can tell just listening to him. Shelley's voice is even stronger, and I had to lower her levels to a degree lower than Abe, which is a feat in itself.
Well, okay.
So tell me about yourself.
Me? What do you want to know?
Your name came up during an investigation I'm working on.
Investigation? Don't you work for Seagram Realty?
Not exactly.
Ah, you just use them as a way to get to me, huh?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Oh, not at all. Just don't expect your money back.
She's all heart.
What can you tell me about the construction site on 53rd Street?
You been there? How's the old place looking?
It's a big hole in the ground.
Ha! Can only be an improvement. I used to live there. Then Seagram Realty bought it and tore it down. Going to build something new and fancy, no doubt.
What? Something like a hospital?
They kicked you out of your own home?
No big loss. The place was a dump. Plus, they wanted it so badly that they paid most of us a monthly stipend just to leave. Pretty generous, actually. I can almost forgive them for nearly robbing me.
So they paid you money to leave.
Yep. Like I said, it was a pretty generous deal. Building was about to be condemned anyway, so everyone was grateful for the offer. Well, everyone except for Mavis Wilcox.
Can you tell me anything else about your old building?
Good riddance is what I say. I lived on the 3rd floor. Everyone on the street could see me. I like my new place much better.
Can you tell me
Good riddance. I like
who is Mavis Wilcox?
a lunatic is what she was. She lived down the hall from me, so I know how crazy she was.
Why was she crazy?
She refused to leave is why. Seagram was offering her a fortune, but still she refused.
Why did Mavis refuse to leave?
She was a lunatic. I believe I already established this. A total shut-in. The prospect of leaving her little apartment terrified her. I'm old and feeble. If I could manage the move, she could have. Of course, it doesn't matter now.
I guess not.
Did they ever get Mavis to leave?
Oh, you could say that. Yes, you could definitely say that. She left all right.
You mean she died?
Yes, I'd call it ironic if it weren't so tragic.
Did they ever find out who killed Mavis?
No. Some stray kid, most likely, thought the building was empty and went in to steal whatever was left over. Didn't count on anyone being there. Bumped into Mavis, then had to kill her. Happens all the time.
How well did you know Mavis?
Like I said, I lived just down the hall. I didn't know her well. I took it, just in case a relative, but it's been 6 months.
Anything else you can tell me about?
Just that she lived on. There's nothing.
Okay.
Do you still have
maybe
Mavis's things?
Yes, I do. There wasn't much.
Could I look at it?
You knew.
Sort of.
Well, you might as well take a.
Thanks. Goodbye, Mrs. Sherman.
Don't mention it.
Lauren, it's Jack. Lauren, I know you're there. I'm your brother, for God's sake, talk to me.
There's not much in here. Just a photograph and a letter.
That's her. That's the ghost at the construction site.
So our ghost's name is Mavis Wilcox.
I'd bet the farm on it.
Wait.
He's wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt.
Okay.
Columbia University. Here's the number.
Alright, and let's show not New Yorker.
Yep, there's a listing for the New Yorker. Their main office is in Midtown.
Okay, call them up. Oh, Jack. That's what happens.
Hello? Hello? Lauren, is that you? Sis?
Jesus.
Now why'd you go and do that?
Just back off, okay?
Alright. This is me backing off.
Good.
Oh, I thought she'd be able to call him again. And maybe she should be, but game doesn't let you.
Thank you for calling the New Yorker. How can I help you?
Hello. Yes, I'm trying to reach a reporter named Mitchell.
Let's see now. Mitchell. We have a Joseph Mitchell on staff. Is that him?
I guess it's worth a try. Is he in?
Yes, he is. Hold, please.
Voice of the New Yorker receptionist. His name is Brandon Van Slyke. He's a close friend of mine here in the city. It's an old joke of voiceovers in games, how you give the voice roles to friends and family, and I was guilty of that here. I figured I wasn't going to waste a little role like this on a professional actor, so Brandon was over one day, and I said, hey, you want to do this? And he said, sure. So he sat down and did it. So that was Brandon.
He's not answering. Maybe I should go up there in person.
Maybe you should if you know the address.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right.
Now, Mitchell's office is pretty simple. I really dig the chairs in this office.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they look soft. I'm happy with that.
They look shiny.
Mm-hmm.
I love the shininess of these chairs.
Yeah.
I feel like they sound like they'll squeak when you sit on them.
Maybe you should get a sound effect for that. Mitchell's chair is actually really like fancy at the back, but he's sitting in it, so of course you can't see, and I'm not drawing him getting up, so I guess it'll remain a mystery to our viewers.
Ah, yes. Oh well.
Oh, I forgot.
Well, that's what this commentary is for, isn't it?
Yeah. I was gonna have it maybe so that he could like open the blinds, because the view at the window is pretty cool, but oh well. It's implied.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie, yeah. I like the way those newspaper clippings on the left turn out. I wasn't sure how to do that, so it's hard to do detailed things in pixels, especially when they're so tiny, so it's been part of the process.
Well, let's do the whole thing over in high res.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, we
Oh,
won't.
we'll renegotiate my contract, shall we?
Oh, yes, let's do that.
Yes. Can I help you?
Are you Mr. Mitchell?
I sure am.
I'm Lauren Blackwell.
Well, do come in, Miss Blackwell.
For those of you who are fans of Gabriel Knight, if you played the second one, you'll know that the mystery of the game surrounds the last king of Bavaria, Ludwig. And when I first heard about Joseph Mitchell, I thought to myself, I found my Ludwig. I found this really bizarre, real-life story that I could build a conspiracy on and build a mystery on. Joseph Mitchell was such an interesting guy. He wrote these character pieces on just everyday people he met in bars, people he met on the street, drug users, drunks, eccentrics, homeless, mentally unstable people. He wrote these character pieces for 30 years for The New Yorker and for other publications, but he worked for The New Yorker for 30 years, and then he wrote one final thing called Joe Gould's Secret. It's a book you can buy, and then he never wrote again. For 30 more years, he came to work every day, went to his office, and never wrote again. And when I heard about this, I was fascinated. I just kept thinking about why on earth he would have done this. So this is my take on what happened.
I need to ask you a few questions.
Well, there's no harm in asking, certainly. What is this regarding? Are you a reporter, or...?
No, I'm just doing some research.
See. You're a student.
More a student of life.
Aren't we all? So what can I do for you, Miss Blackwell?
I've given myself roles in my previous games. In Shiva, I played the Cantor, and in Blackwell Legacy, I played the Evil Demon, which was a lot of fun, but this is probably the largest role I've ever given myself. And I gave it to myself not purely for egotistical reasons, although there is a bit of that, because I really respect and really like Mitchell and his writing and stuff. But because I really respect him, I wanted to make sure that I was faithful to him, and the words that I put into his mouth were words that he would probably say, or things that he would probably do, and so on. And the problem with voice acting is that everything is set in stone once you get the actor in. And with Mitchell, I wanted to keep it flexible. I wanted to be able to change stuff at the 11th hour. If I suddenly realized, hey, wait a minute, Mitchell wouldn't say this, or this sounds better, or, this is more Mitchell-like, that I could just pop on the microphone and change it myself quickly, rather than having to lug an actor back, which is always a pain in the neck to do. So that's why I gave myself the role of Mitchell.
So how long have you been working here?
Do you always ask such personal questions?
I'm just curious about the sort of...
I write about people, Miss...
What sort of people?
Not the famous sort. Just ordinary people.
Ordinary people.
You find that amusing?
Oh, not at all. So tell me about yourself, Mr. Mitchell.
I beg your pardon.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes, I heard you. I hope you didn't come here simply to interview. I'm afraid I'd make a poor interview subject.
Did you know Mavis Wilcox?
Miss Wilcox? Yes, I remember her. Lived uptown a ways before she died.
How did you know her?
I wanted to write a piece about her, so I met her for a spell. Interesting woman. How did you know her?
I'm looking into her death.
I see.
So what can you tell me about Mavis? I get the impression she didn't get out much.
That's an understatement. I got in touch with her through a colleague who was covering that demolition. I wondered what made a woman like that tick.
What was she like?
A very gracious woman. Brought me in, made me a cup of tea, showed me pictures of her family. All in all, it was a pleasant way to spend an afternoon.
What happened to her?
Killed, so they say, was found choked to death in her own apartment.
Any thoughts on who did it?
Well, there were rumors that the labor union decided to take matters, but I doubt that. The police ruled it was some squatter or drifter or something, and let
And what do you think?
me. I have no theory.
Why did you want to write about her?
I found her fascinating. She was asked to leave. She was begged to leave, but she kept refusing. She was too scared. I had to know why.
And what did you discover?
That, Miss Blackwell, is the eternal question. I've spoken to hundreds of people over the years. Most of them were odder than Mavis. It's impossible to decipher the whys and the hows. As time went on, I've contented myself.
Anything else you can tell me about Maeve?
I'm afraid I've told you everything.
I'm afraid you haven't.
I'd like to read your piece about Mavis.
I'm afraid I no longer have it.
Do you know what issue it was in? I'd like to look it up.
I never published it. I was going to, but then Mavis died, and it just seemed wrong somehow. I don't even have the rough copies anymore.
I think that's all for now.
Okay.
Alright, you have a good night now.
I'll be back. Let's see. What else?
It's open!
Mrs. Sherman.
You got.
Yes,
Well, I ain't.
do you know anything about this picture?
I don't know the boy.
Yep.
But that was
I
Mavis's living room.
knew
If Mavis
I
had a
had to
son,
go back.
I never saw him.
Talk to her again.
Anything else you can...
Just that she lived on the third. There's nothing.
Do you know any...
Reporter.
Goodbye, Miss...
Don't mention.
I also didn't talk to him about the picture.
Yes,
Hey, guess who?
twice more. Come on in, sit.
Nope.
I think that's all.
Alright, you
No picture questions. I think maybe I'll be able to get enough info out of the university, or but then again I don't know who to look for. Do I? Nope, I don't. Okay.
Columbia University. How may I direct your...
That's hardly relevant. Thanks anyway. He's wearing a Columbia...
Okay, so I'm gonna go back.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Speak to her.
Oh boy, we've got company.
Can you see?
Pardon?
Can't you see?
See what, lady?
The whole of the world. Connections, patterns, pulsing with life everywhere.
Oh great, one of New York's finest crazies. Do something about this old bat, will ya?
Stephanie Cox Williams, the actress playing the Countess. I first met her through Abe Goldfarb, the guy playing Joey. She was stage managing for a show that Abe was directing. That's the funny thing about the acting scene in New York. Everyone does everything. If you meet an actor, more than likely if they've done directing, or they've done lights, they've done stage direction, stage managing. And sure enough, Stephanie was an actress. And I chatted with her after the show. There was an after party, and she mentioned how she did the voice of an old lady for something, and I'm like, hey, I got a role for you. And lo and behold, she came over to the role, so she was awesome.
Hey, I got a role for you. So now it's direct.
Do you want money? Because I don't have any. How about a cigarette?
Fool! Liar! Can't you see? Useless. Useless!
Wow.
I know.
Only in New York. I'm going in again. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'll wait here.
Where else can I go?
Oh,
Hello,
Joey, what are you...
I need
It better be good.
you to
Sure.
Another visitor. Oh, you...
I'd like to ask you some
Look, I'm not going... Who are you?
It's me, your son.
Sam?
Yep, that's me.
Sam, it's been so long.
Yeah, look at...
Sorry, I was so... Come on in, Sam.
No, I can only stay for... I have some questions and...
Of course, Sam.
So, how's it going?
Oh, it's tough, but I get...
Yeah? Listen, Mom, what's the last...
What do you mean?
And before that?
Nothing, except for the... And that...
That who?
Nobody.
So, how are my bro...
That's not funny, Sam. You know you're an old...
Right, just...
I was so unsure of this line. I thought it might have been too glib and too flip and too haha funny, but Abe loved
it
the
is
line.
funny.
Chen loved the line. All the beta testers liked the line, so I kept it in. I'm still not sure if it's appropriate, but everyone likes it, so I kept it in.
How's Dad, Mom?
Oh, Sam.
Do you have
You know that
any
your father is dead? John Durkin died
brothers
years
and
ago.
our sisters?
Right. Sorry.
John Durkin. Okay.
Mom, are you sure that...
You're so Look at the door.
Do you know a guy named...
Is that a... You know he's...
Guy named
How can you...
Slip my...
John
your-
Just
Durkin.
look, forget it.
Okay.
So what can you tell...
You're so
Never mind. So, tell...
Sam.
Just trying to get to...
Well, isn't... But I honestly...
Have you been talking to...
Yes! He came over and talked. I liked him.
What did you talk about?
Oh, they don't know why you...
I'm going to go and I'll come back to visit...
Sure, Sam. I'll be here.
Okay.
So how's your new friend?
Oh, just dandy.
Go home. Make the Let me see what she says about this.
Mavis Wilcox is Sam's mother. Stands to reason his last name would be Wilcox too.
But is it? Is there Sam Wilcox here? Nope.
There's no listing. I thought for sure that would work.
Let's call the university.
Columbia University. How may I direct?
That's hardly relevant.
Oops.
Can you connect me to Sam Wilcox?
Sorry, there's no Sam Wilcox listed.
No Sam
No?
Wilcox.
Are you sure?
He's not in the directory.
Thanks anyway. I thought for sure that would work.
Do you want me to try somebody else?
Well, you gonna try John Durkin, he's dead.
John Durkin, please.
Sorry, there's no...
Thanks anyway.
Do you want me to...
No.
Thanks anyway. Bye.
Okay, so they let you go all the way in. And then you have to make the connection. Oh, maybe it's not Wilcox.
Maybe Sam didn't use his mother's name. He could have used his father's.
Yep.
Columbia University. How may I...
That's hardly relevant. How about Sam Durkin? Is there a Sam Durkin listed?
Sam Durkin. Yes. Hold, please.
It's about time.
Originally, this role was given to Erin Robinson. She wanted to have a small cameo in the
About
game,
damn
so
time.
I told her she could do the Columbia operator. And unfortunately, the microphone she had a lot of hiss and background noise, and we tried to use a background noise filter, but it got so heavily modulated, and it's such a minor thing, a little background noise wouldn't have mattered so much, but it was the sheer quantity of it just made it impossible. So she graciously stepped aside and told me to recast the role. So I called up Julia Dittar, a friend of mine, who works for, she does programming and art for Flash games. She came over and she just sat down and read the lines, and she was actually pretty perfect because she sounds like a college kid. She could be just some college kid working the switchboard, to earn some extra money, and she sounds and looks and acts like a college kid, even though she's a bit older than that, so she was perfect.
Darkin.
Is this Sam?
Yeah? Who's this?
My name is Lauren Blackwell. I was hoping to ask you a few questions about your mother.
Oh. Questions, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, how do you know my mom?
Originally, this character's name was Danny, but in writing the dialogue, I just knew it had to be a younger version of Sam Durkin from the Shiva. It just was meant to be. So Francisco Gonzalez got to reprise his role as Sam Durkin, so he was happy to do that.
I'm investigating her death.
Oh, you're a cop, are you? Because my dad was a cop. I know people. I can check.
No, I'm not a cop.
Didn't think so. Just a concerned citizen, huh?
That's right.
Somehow I don't believe you. Nobody in their right mind would be concerned about my mom.
Whether you believe me or...
Maybe. But if you knew her, you know what apartment number she was in.
I would?
Sure you would. She never left the damn... So what was it? Alright, so maybe you did know her.
Thank you.
So what do you want to know about?
What do you know about her death?
It was suicide.
She killed herself?
Not literally. But it was... She had every opportunity to leave. I tried to get her out, but she couldn't be dragged out of that dump by anybody or anything.
Do you know who killed her?
She was killed by some junkie, wasn't she?
So they say.
You think different?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Good luck to you.
How close were you with your mother?
Close? Think of the farthest place you can. That's how close we were. Woman wasn't a mother.
Did Mavis ever leave her apartment?
Never. Not once in the last 15 years.
You don't seem upset by her death.
Upset? Sure, she was my mom. But am I gonna lose sleep? No. She drove my pop out of the house and into an early grave. I once thought I'd follow in his footsteps, but not anymore. The woman didn't go anywhere. Never did anything. She was killing me just by existing. Now I feel like I can breathe again. That's the truth.
What was it like living with her?
You kidding? I lived with my pop. After 3 years of marriage, he had enough. Glad he had the sense to take me with him.
And after your father died?
I got by.
You never visited your mother?
Yeah, I visited her on Mother's Day. If that's what you want to know. Even got her a present once.
Really?
Yeah, for all the good it did.
What did you give your mom for Mother's Day?
I don't think that's any of your business, lady. It's been years. Just dust in the ground.
Bye, Sam. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't he... Well, yes, he doesn't mention the gift.
He's wearing a... This kid doesn't...
Oh, you have to go... Wait, no, who? Go back.
Come on.
Right.
I want to talk to Joey.
I want to talk to you, Joey.
I'm all ears, sweetheart.
I'll need to come back home.
I'm still mad, you know.
Keep it up, doll. I might start to believe you.
I really need to get a bigger place.
You think so? I find this place quite cozy.
So do I. That's the problem. I need a change in my life, Joey.
A change? The day-to-day grind of freeing tormented spirits getting too boring for you?
No, I'm thinking of changing the wallpaper. How does pink sound to you?
Pink? You're not a pink person.
It would brighten up the place.
No pink.
I am so tired. I just want to relax and smoke a cigarette.
Since when do you need an excuse to smoke a cigarette?
Good point. I guess we better get out there and finish this thing.
After you.
That's it for now.
Yeah, we'll talk more later. Hey, you got a minute?
Yes?
Hey, have you done something different with your hair?
What do you mean?
I don't know, something's different.
I washed it this morning.
With shampoo?
Yeah?
That's what threw me.
Oh my god.
So are we gonna futz around here all night? We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So are we gonna futz? We got
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Come on.
Right,
Yes? Come in.
Did Mavis ever mention a gift or present?
Now that you mention it, yes. She showed me a leather-bound edition of Alice in Wonderland and said it was from her son.
Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, by Lewis Carroll.
Yeah, I've heard of it. What was that present?
It was...
Do you know anything?
I'm afraid not. Mavis, I've never met the boy.
Do you know anything about John Dirk?
Oh yeah, she did talk about broke her heart, she said. I know they divorced very early in the marriage, and he died several years later, but I'm afraid I know nothing else.
I think that's all for now.
Alright, you have a good night now.
I'm going in again. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'll wait here.
Oh, and the
Trying to get rid of me,
and
will they?
Hello,
Joey, what are you doing?
knocks
I
on the
need
door.
you.
It better be good.
I need you to knock up.
Sure.
My, I'm popular today. Oh, hello, Sam.
Hi. Hey, Mom.
The good thing about knowing beforehand who's going to play a role is that you can totally envision how they're going to perform certain lines. And this whole mom thing is something, as I was writing it, I was cracking up. Because I could just imagine Abe's voice saying these lines, and I would just laugh. And when Abe actually performed the lines, he didn't disappoint.
Do you have that present I gave you?
Which present was that?
The book. Alice in Wonderland.
Of course I still have it. It was the only Mother's Day gift you ever bought me, Sam.
Can I see it?
Whatever for?
Come on, Ma.
Sure, Sam. It's
Great. Why don't you bring it out here?
You mean pick it up?
Yeah, pick it up and bring it over.
Yeah,
Pick it up.
pick it up.
Sure. Oh no!
What?
The book, it's gone!
Gone, huh? Imagine that.
Somebody stole. Sam, I'm sorry.
It's okay, Mom.
Okay, I lost your gift.
You need to find that book. I don't know if I...
You don't mean that.
I mean it, Mom.
But I don't know where.
Maybe it's under...
No, it's not there.
In the bathroom.
No, I never saw it in there.
Maybe it's out here, Mom.
In the hallway?
Sure, in the hallway. Yeah, I'm sure it's... Come on out and help me look.
Oh, okay, Sam, but only for you. I still don't see it anywhere.
Let's try further down, Mom.
I'm outside.
Yeah, I knew you could do it, Mom.
Mom?
Sam? Sam, where are we? I'm scared.
I'm right here. Mom, I need you to do something.
What?
Turn around.
I can't.
Sure you can. Just turn around and look behind you.
Oh, where's the building? Where's my apartment? Where's my home? It's gone! Those bastards, they tore it down! You made me leave, and they tore it down!
Hey, calm down.
I've got nothing now.
Mom.
I am not your mother. You are not my son. My son hates me. All I had left was my home. Then Oh, God. Are you happy now? You couldn't just leave me there. You had to bring me out.
I'm sorry.
It's horrible. Being dead, it's horrible.
You get used to it.
I don't want to feel like this anymore. Everything is so dark. Can I go home now?
Sure. Sure, I can take you home. Just hold on to this. Over to you, kid.
Right.
So let's talk about node space. This was really cool.
Thank you. It was one of the more fun ones to design. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but I thought the node space in the other game was good, but kind of boring for what it should have been. I wanted Lauren's walkway to be a bit more wacky and weird, and because Rosa, I think, is a very straight-laced character, so it makes sense that her pathway is very like neat cobblestones. But I don't know, Lauren's ended up looking a bit more like marshmallow bits, which wasn't quite my intention, but it's kind of spirals off into infinity, and kind of raises some questions. The path is also supposed to look like it breaks out more as you get away from the door. So
Yeah, I like that. It reminded me of that. You said marshmallow bits, so some kind of like chalky, multicolored candy.
they're called
that I'm thinking
rockets.
of. Yes,
I
yes.
think you guys called them Smarties.
Oh my god.
Mavis?
It's so bright and big. It just goes on forever. I just want to go home.
I think that's the only home you've got now. I'm sorry.
What a legacy. Husband gone and dead. My home is gone. I remember that too. Dying, I mean. That old woman choking me.
Old woman?
She just came in and killed me. She said she was going to help me. Well, what now?
The light, Mavis. Just head towards it.
And then,
I don't know.
I'm scared, but it feels right somehow. Oh, John, Sam, I'm so sorry for everything.
This is probably the saddest character I've ever created. Mavis is, God, she's depressing. And I was trying to think of ways maybe to make it a little happier for her. Maybe even an alternate way of playing through this section. Bringing the sun in, maybe, or something. I don't know. Or maybe if Joey could continue to pretend to be her son. I don't know. But you know what? It wasn't appropriate. It just really, she's has a lot of regret. She's lived her life this way, and there are consequences to that she has to accept. And she's accepted them. She regrets them, but she's accepted them. She's lived a life. She's made her choices, and she has to live with them, or in her case, she has to die with them, and she still has to move on. It's too late now, and to magically make it better just felt like it was cheating the character and cheating the situation and cheating the lesson, I guess, behind it. That there are consequences to this. I know that there are many times that I don't want to be social, I don't want to go out, and I stay home for long periods at a time, and I become very lonely. That's a consequence of shutting yourself away from people. So I make an effort to be social when I can, and that's that's a lesson to be learned from this, if anything. And to make it happier, to make it magically go away, would have been cheating, would have been unfair. So I kept it sad and I kept it regretful, and I hope I didn't depress you guys. But this is the way it had to be, I think.
I wish I could feel sorry
It's
for
nice
you,
that way.
but I don't feel much of anything anymore. Best of luck, wherever you are. Joey?
Yeah, hi. Glad you're up.
Did you save her?
Yeah, sure. We saved her.
Joey? Is she talking to you?
Yeah, go figure.
Thank you, both of you. I only wanted to save them.
Mavis told me she was killed by an old woman. Was that you?
I save, just like you.
Who are you?
I am the Countess.
Countess? Countess of what?
It's the only name I know. I saved them. I helped them. I'm sorry.
Hey, get back here. Don't just stand there. Let's get after her.
She's pretty spry for an old lady.
Spry my foot. You couldn't outrun a one-legged turtle with...
Yes, I admit, this is very obviously a cop-out. If I had the liberty of a budget and a full-time professional art team, I would have loved to include some kind of chase sequence where you chase the Countess and blah blah blah. But, I'm on a budget here. This is how it had to be.
Don't start with me, okay? I'm not moving from this spot until I've finished my cigarette.
Hey there.
Nobody that old should move that fast.
Just keep telling yourself that.
Joey, she could see you. How could she do that?
I don't know, but I think this case just got a hell of a lot more complicated.
Fantastic. Looks like something is interfering with the signal again. Move away a bit, will you, Joey?
What, you want to watch TV now?
Just for a minute.
You can relax later, sweetheart. Let's finish up these cases first.
Yeah, you're right. My couch. It doubles as my bed at night. Come on, let's...
Right behind.
So, like, what were your thoughts going into it? You saw the picture, right?
Yeah. He sent me some photos, and I kind of amalgamated the cool bits into one background. And you can see in the background there's the Twin Towers there, because this game is set in the 70s, and they would have still been there, which I thought was an interesting touch. I'm not sure if many people will notice that, but that's in there.
Once they get to the map screen, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious there.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that if you were in this place in real life and looking that direction, they would actually be in the complete opposite direction, but artistic license.
Exactly, yes. Because originally it was supposed to be in Battery Park, and you could actually see the towers from Battery Park. From Roosevelt Island, you really can't, but like you said, artistic license, whatever.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like another bus, Joey.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe not.
This is a real location. You could actually go to New York City, go to Roosevelt Island, and find this exact spot. Originally, this scene was supposed to take place down in Battery Park City, in the park by the water, because I actually saw a homeless jazz man playing there once, and that always stuck with me, that image of this lonely jazz guy by the water in Battery Park playing the saxophone. But then one day I was over at Roosevelt Island. I happened to have my camera with me, and I saw this view. And something about the composition of it just looked really nice, and I thought it would be perfect for an adventure game background. So I took a picture, and I decided to change the location. So it's now Roosevelt Island instead of Battery Park.
Wait, you hear that?
And there
I
you
think
go.
so.
Let's get closer.
The location was changed.
Hey, look. Looks like our evening might not be a total wash after all.
Well, it hasn't been anyway, so... let's see what I'm saying.
Hey, mister. Nice tune. You write it yourself? Ugh, forget it.
Okay.
I should try getting his attention the polite way first.
Alright, Graham.
Hey, Mac, the name's Joey. Ah, the talkative sort, are we? Well, we'll soon sort that out. Pay attention, you fat chump. I'm talking.
That's your idea of intimidating?
Quiet, will ya? I'll be back, pal. Don't you worry. Hey, I'm talking, Buster.
Hey! You let go!
One of the advantages to being good friends with actors is that they tend to know plenty of other actors. So when I am in need of actors, I could usually mine that networking vein. And the guy who originally was supposed to play Isaac Brown couldn't do it. I met Daryl when I was hanging out with Abe once at this bar, and he had a couple of his actor friends there, and we were all talking, and the subject of what I did for a living came up, and Daryl was like, oh, if you ever need voice actors, I can do voice acting. And Abe piped up, he's like, yeah, Daryl's awesome. And I kind of looked at him and said, well, can you do an old jazz man type voice? And he just launched into this whole big impromptu thing, and I said, dude, that's awesome. I could definitely use you. And so he came, he did the lines, and he just nailed it. He was so perfect. So I'm definitely going to be using this guy again.
I need to ask you a few questions first.
Not now, man. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? Get off the stage!
Stage?
Some of the early criticism of this game before it even came out was that it didn't have character portraits, the dialogue portraits, the close-ups that you got in Shiva and Blackwell Legacy. That was mostly a financial decision. I just wanted to keep this as simple as possible, and it turned out to be much more work in the long run. It wasn't out of laziness that I didn't have dialogue portraits. It actually caused a lot more work for me, because like right here, there's this animation of them struggling over the saxophone, but they don't only struggle over the saxophone, they also talk. So I had to include talking animations for both of them, and I had to animate them separately so they could talk separately. And it was difficult to get that to sync up properly, because yeah, they would grab the saxophone, but then I would have to separate them so they could each talk individually, and they had to still float, bob up and down individually. It would have been so much easier just to have one animation of them bobbing up and down, holding the saxophone, and just keep using the talking portraits, the close-up portraits. That would have made it a lot easier to code. So it wasn't entirely out of laziness, because it was a lot more work to do it this way.
Ooh!
Now this one took you a while, was the Joey and Isaac fighting and getting hit thing.
Yeah, that was fun to do. I was at home at the time. That was the week before Mittens, when I had just gotten back from Europe, and I was spending some time with the family. And you know, working in the basement on this, like, have this elaborate thing open in paint. And my brother, who's like 19, had a bunch of his friends over who were like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "It animates. Look." He hits him with a saxophone. It's a ghost and another ghost. It makes sense.
It totally makes sense. I mean, if they couldn't get it, you know, they're just not cool enough.
Yeah, clearly they're the ones who aren't cool.
Exactly. Well, we're cool in a different way. We're a whole different level of coolness.
Yeah.
I'm making no sense.
That's how we treat your kind at Johnny Ivory's.
Johnny Ivory's? What are you talking about? Hello? Oh, we're dealing with a real sharp tack here.
I think I had to now search for the place. Is it with Deborah?
Johnny Ivory's
Yep.
Jazz and Cabaret. It's on Bleecker and 7th Avenue. You up for some jazz, Joey?
You mean we finally get to listen to some real music?
Call it my special treat.
Lauren has to look up people the old-fashioned way. In Shiva and Legacy, they got to use the computer.
Yes.
Lauren has to use the phone book. In Legacy, when you use the computer to look up people, you instantly went right to the notebook. So it was kind of easy. And many people missed the old Shiva interface where you could type in search queries. So I brought that back. And what was cool is that I got to add little extra Easter eggs. If you look up me, you can look up Aaron Robinson, the artist. You can look up Chris Jones, the creator of the engine, and some others. You could look up Rabbi Stone. Try looking up Rabbi Stone from the Shiva. Abe got a kick out of doing that. So yeah, I like this interface. I'll probably keep it. Using the notebook was too easy.
Okay.
I'm not ready for a nap.
Let's see.
He hasn't even been born yet.
Alright. What was it? Damn, I forgot the names. Aaron something. Rabbi Stone. Is this how you spell Rabbi? I have no idea.
There's no entry for that.
Nope. Oh, Aaron Robinson. Let's see.
This isn't a Canadian phone book.
Okay, I have no idea what that is anyway. This is Canadian.
There's no entry for that.
Alright.
Come on, let's get at
Right.
I love this song. This is one of my favorites in the game. The guy who did the music for the
They're
game,
all
his name is
good.
Thomas Reagan. He's from
They're all
Denmark.
pretty good.
And he was so enthusiastic. I was really kind of blown away at how enthusiastic and how into the project he was. He just kept sending me track after track after track, and they're all brilliant. And he tried to keep them within period. He tried to keep them 70s-ish for the most part. I wasn't so concerned with keeping the era so vibrantly alive, but he did. He really wanted to keep it accurate. He wrote this theme music, which I loved. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then he realized he used a certain kind of drum sound, which wasn't available, which wasn't in use in the 70s. So he changed it, which just shows his amazing attention to detail and how professional he really is. He not only does all this composing work in his spare time, but he also has a day job. He also has a wife, and he also has a kid. I don't know how he does it all, but I'm glad he does it because his work is amazing.
Hey, mister.
Yes?
Got a minute?
For a pretty thing like you, I got several. Huh. So what brings you here on such a sad night?
Just looking for good company.
Is that right? Have you found it yet?
Not yet. You could say that bad company always follows me around.
Oh, haha.
Watch out, ladies. Daryl is really like this in real life, and he is single. You know, I just love this so much. That's really all I have to say.
I'm Lauren.
Okay.
What's your name?
Pleasure's all mine, Lauren.
Nice.
You can call me C.
C.
You got it, sister.
Is that C like the water?
That's C like the chord. It's the first chord I played.
Ain't that the truth? You know any other musician?
I do run in those circles.
Any of them play here?
Sometimes we get major gigs here, but me, I'm what you call the dependable type. These fingers can go all...
Can they now?
Oh, geez, make him stop.
One thing that I tried to keep very subtle, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but that's what this commentary is for, is that Joey is very much in love with Lauren, and that's something he won't admit to himself, let alone to her. It's a feeling he can't act on, and it's very frustrating, especially in these little interchanges with Cecil Sharp here, where Lauren is very obviously attracted to Cecil, and Joey is aware of this, and he is obviously a little jealous. And it's an aspect of Joey's character that I really like, and I find very tragic, and so on. It's something that I planned from the beginning. In Legacy, whenever there was a line where Joey was discussing Lauren, I told Abe, when doing the voice, that he should try to put a little bit of heartbreak, a little bit of loss into the lines, and that does come across very subtly. And if you picked up on it, congratulations, and if not, well, now you know.
Well, now you know. Now I know, and you know,
It's okay for me to talk to you like this.
I don't hear anybody else complaining.
Dull night, huh?
You could say that, but I think it just got a bit more interesting.
Is that
I
right?
would say...
These lips don't lie.
You wanna know
See
anything
you
about
around.
those?
Anytime, sister.
This one looks interesting. Courtesy of Jambalaya Records. Might be worth checking out.
I should have tried, but I don't remember what the name
The only thing
of the
holding up
place
that
was.
dress is fate. Pretty girl, though. I wonder who she is.
Should have preemptively searched
The woman
for
is blocking the piano player. I can't see his face.
it.
That's him. The Jasmine Ghost from the promenade. Looks like we're on the right track.
Hey, by the way, why do I still have Mavis, leather, and piercer? I mean, it makes sense. They're not even that heavy, so to speak, but they're kind of relevant now.
What do we have here? He's written something at the top of the sheet.
And that is?
Property of Cecil Sharp. Aw, how sweet. Maybe his mommy signed it for him. What am I supposed to do? Blow in his ear?
Yep.
He's not really my type.
Okay. A little touchy, when oh, notes. I was supposed to do notes.
Hey, C.
Hello there.
What's the band in that photograph behind you?
That picture is old.
It's not that
Old enough. Before.
Here is a mistake I made. I know this bit of dialogue sounds a little weird. It's very obviously recycled from some other bits of dialogue that Cecil says. And it's kind of blatant, and it kind of is ugly, but it had to be done. When I beta tested the game, the testers noted that you couldn't ask Cecil about the photograph. It was a natural thing to ask him. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So I added some dialogue where you could ask Cecil about the photograph and you can ask him for the photograph. And he actually gives you a much better explanation than he gives you in the actual game. Unfortunately, what I didn't do was take those lines, because this was towards the end of the whole programming process. I did not take those lines and copy them onto the voice acting script. So when Daryl sat down to read the lines, he didn't read those lines. He didn't record those lines. So when I started to import them, I realized, oh crap, I'm going to have to do some futzing, creative futzing, in order to get it to work. So that's what I did. So that is my mistake. It's one of the drawbacks in dealing with voice acting in games. It limits your flexibility in many respects. I made this mistake many times working on Blackwell Legacy, and I only made this mistake once working on Blackwell Unbound. Hopefully the next time around I'll have refined the process and I won't have to worry about it at all.
Do you have a copy of that photo?
Nope. Sorry.
Here is a mistake I made. I know this bit of dialogue sounds a little weird.
Is your name Cecil Sharp?
Now, who went and told you that?
Oh, you could say little bird told me.
Tweet, tweet.
Well, you won't go tell everybody, will you?
Lips are sealed.
Tweet, tweet.
See you around.
Anytime.
Something like that. Drops it on the doormat.
Here we go. Jambalaya Records, 240 Essex Street. I'll jot that down. Busy. I better go over there in person.
Right.
Erin Robinson is someone I name-dropped in Blackwell Legacy. If you go to the dorm hallway, one of the doors has her name on it. And I was familiar with her work. She did a game called Spooks, early 2006, and it had a very simple but visually interesting style, and I've seen her work improve, stuff she's posted, stuff she's shown me. And it was a very spontaneous decision to ask her to do this, actually. I knew I needed a simple style, but I wanted it to be interesting, and Erin had the time off because she was a college kid and was off for the summer, and I knew she was a fan of my stuff, and we were kind of buddies by that point. We were MSN buddies by that point, and I figured she might be interested if I could throw some money her way. And she was really interested, and she really took the bull by the horns and did a fantastic job. It's her work really improved over the course of the project. She showed me her reference materials, all the stuff she did. She just put in so much work, went above and beyond anything I could have expected. She was really awesome, and the field of 2D game design is mourning because the girl is going into neuroscience, which I think is crazy. Exercise that left brain, Erin. Anyway, that's Erin Robinson. She did an awesome, awesome job. And you'll hear more from her in the bonus section. If you unlock the bonus at the end of the game, you can hear her thoughts about the game-making process.
Okay, I just now remembered I forgot to take pictures of these selector guys. I can take a picture of this guy.
Say cheese.
See. Yep, that's the one I missed in my regular playthrough.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. I'm Dwayne.
Lauren Blackwell. I was hoping you could help me.
I'll do my best. What can I do for you?
So what is this place?
This? We manage well by...
You do this all...
Yep.
What sort of music?
Mostly jazz. Most small getting gig. The basics. Really? I learned to work. You play a gig.
Your clients have left.
Don't.
Does the name Cecil Sharp ring any bells?
You know. But. I'm so awful with. Is he part of a.
Maybe. He plays piano.
I deal with them all the time. But that's not where I. This is going to bug me all night.
Until I bring you the follow.
Thanks for the help. I might be back later.
No problem.
Okay, let me do this.
Say cheese. I don't need a picture. I don't need a pic.
And I guess the next one you did was the piano bar.
Yep. Let me open that up now so I remember what the hell I did.
Because that was the first one I opened up, and I thought, wow, that was really cool.
Oh, thanks.
Just the light, the shading, I thought was really nice. It felt nice and kind of, what's the word? I don't want to say homey, but it felt like plush. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah. I wanted to look like someplace kind of classy from a distance, but if you got up close, you'd realize it was all kind of tacky and velvet. I'm not sure if that came across, but that was my idea going in.
So what is your idea of tacky?
I was gonna have more Tiffany lamps, but I got lazy. I mean, they didn't fit the composition.
No,
Right.
that's yeah, very good.
Yeah, I almost didn't want to draw chairs, and I'm like, no, people will notice if there aren't chairs, so I threw some of them too. I like on the wall there's a poster that kind of says Johnny Ivory's, and it's a little music note sitting in a martini glass, like a cherry. I was part of that.
That is cute, yeah.
Oh,
And you can't, it's very subtle because you can't see the words Johnny Ivory's completely.
Well, these people have puzzle-solving brains. I'm sure that they can put that together.
Yeah. So I don't think
I
it's
just
an
need you to
issue.
animate Cecil like mixing up a martini and handing it to Lauren.
Then both getting drunk.
Oh my.
We won't go there.
Director's
no.
cut. And Joey's just gonna watch. Sorry.
It is very disturbing.
Incidentally, a lot of those bottles appear in my own personal bar. There's some watermelon flavored vodka there.
Oh, I see. Is that your inspiration juice?
Whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Say cheese.
Jambalaya. Because I'm really impressed with the way you composed that. Being able to look through the window and into there was something I thought was really cool.
Oh, thanks.
Because when I came up with the location, I just imagined just a flat office, and you kind of made it visually cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I'm like, well, this could be another random like indoors background, or we could kind of make it fun. It's just I kind of like when I started this project, I didn't even know if I could do realistic backgrounds, and I figured it'd be safest to stick with like straight on views and like not a lot of fancy perspective or anything. So this is one of the first ones I did, but yeah, this allowed it to be a bit more interesting, but still being very simple. Also, I want everybody to notice that there's a little picture of Dave Gilbert on the left. He's in the poster on the left. He's the guy who I tinted purple, put in the psychedelic poster.
I actually did not notice that at first. You had to point it out.
Yes, that's what you get for sending pictures to me. In the design document, you basically said, like, it's a record office with a Cajun feel or something. I'm like, a Cajun feel? What the hell? So I had to look that up on whatever, Wicked Google, and...
Rastafarian or something.
Yeah, so I drew that crocodile playing a sax and hoped that was enough.
I like the pepper on the door. That was a nice touch.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Let's try.
If it's all the same, I'll wait for the kid here to open it. I don't just float through things unless I have to. I gotta keep some shred of dignity.
And are you? I guess. For now you are. You wanna talk to the guy, maybe?
I can't talk to the guy. He can't... Burning the midnight oil, eh? He's either really dedicated or has nothing worth going home.
No, okay.
Do you know this band?
Oh yeah, I remember those guys. The C Sharps.
That was the band's name?
Yeah, I used to manage them.
You used to manage them.
Nah, been about 8-10 years. Time flies, you know.
Playing the role of Dwayne is Francisco Gonzalez, also known as Grundislav on the various internet forums. He is now a WoW Jedi veteran. He's been in every single game so far, and one of the only few actors who I will accept voice recordings from over the internet. Originally, when I was writing the dialogue from this character, I found myself channeling Woody Allen in Broadway Danny Rose, this very kind of nervous, stammery, but very slick concert promoter, entertainment promoter. So I told Francisco to read it like Woody Allen, and it just really wasn't happening. He really had a lot of trouble reading it that way. And so in the end, we just went with the Jamaican accent, and it worked out pretty well.
It's the photo from Cecil Sharp, the C Sharps.
Cute, real cute.
Okay.
Hi again.
Do you want to tell me
yourself?
something about them?
Was Cecil Sharp in the band this?
Cecil Sharp. C Sharps. Yes! I knew I heard the name from somewhere.
So do you remember him now?
Oh yeah, he a genius on the piano.
So Cecil Sharp.
Yeah, that was.
Thanks for the help. I might be back later.
No problem.
Might be back later, really? I don't think so. I don't remember what for. Tonight was.
Hey, C.
Hello there.
What can you tell me about your old band, the C Sharps?
C Sharp. Can't help you there. Never heard of them.
Now, I spoke to your old manager. He confirmed who you are.
You spoke to Dwayne?
Yes, I did.
That. Fine. You got me. Yes. I used to run a band called the C Sharps. It was a rotten time in my life. Why are you stirring up these old ashes? Huh?
I have my reasons.
Yeah, sure you do.
Wait, that's it?
I don't suppose you.
This is the villain you see all.
She calls her.
Sorry.
Okay.
See her.
Reporter time.
Yes? I'm becoming Doc. Come in.
Have you heard these reports of saxophone?
Saxophone music. I'm afraid not. I haven't been to that area since.
Do you know anything?
I've met plenty of some stranger than others. Can you give me some more details?
She calls herself the Mr. Mitchell?
I'm thinking. No. I can safely say I've never said I'm sorry.
So tell me.
Yeah, I hope
I think that's all.
Alright, you have a good night now.
Huh. That's really interesting.
Hey, C.
Hello there.
Do you read the...
Nope.
I'm looking for...
Well, I'll try to help you out.
I don't know his name. I think he's
I know lots of sex players.
big guy, kind of chubby.
Nope.
See you around.
Anytime.
Do you think Dwayne will help me with this? Maybe best hope. Because it says ghost and I'm thinking she's gonna ask him about
Hi
the
yourself.
ghost.
Again.
And reading those.
What was the sax player's name?
Well,
Yeah.
it was a long time ago. I'm not much on individual names. I only deal with the leader, you know?
No.
Do you read the New York...
The New York... No.
So you've never heard of her...
Nope.
I don't suppose...
Not on...
Does your mother call herself the...
Not.
This your mother.
Are you sure you don't know the sax player's name?
Yeah, quiet fella. Born to play the sax. That's all I know.
Thanks for the help. I might be back later.
No problem.
This one. The only thing pretty.
This is something about her.
Hey, C.
Hello there.
About that sax.
Yeah.
He's in that photo behind you. So I know he's with the C sharp.
What is this? You from that damn magazine?
Magazine?
The New Yorker.
No. So who is he?
You just don't quit, do you? You want to know so bad? His name is Isaac Brown.
Isaac Brown?
Yes. You happy now?
Ecstatic.
Great.
One thing I tend to do when writing dialogue and trying to find the right words, especially for really intense emotional bits like this, is I try to put myself in that frame of mind. Here, Lauren is very pissed off and kind of indignant and very moody, and I tend to like scrunch up my face and kind of move my hands in weird gestures and position my body to try to like feel that way. And I don't know if you know this, but I usually work in coffee shops here in the East Village. So I got some very interesting looks when writing this dialogue. I have a very interesting reputation in the East Village coffee shop scene in New York. Ask anybody. I'm the weird one.
What can you tell me about Isaac Brown?
Him? He's a bum, a drunk, a nobody, a lowlife. He's also dead.
And how did he die?
Someone strangled him to death. Isaac must have squealed like a pig.
You don't seem very upset by...
No, but last time someone asked about Isaac, it was some reporter. He came along, asked his questions, then bam! Isaac's dead.
Really?
Yeah, so forgive me.
About Isaac...
Leave it, the past is...
Who was the reporter?
I don't know. Mitchell, some slow talker. Drove me crazy.
You think he killed Isaac?
I just play the piano. I don't think anything. Especially not the past. Whoever did Isaac, the son of a bitch had it coming. So please, just get out of here.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yes? But come in.
I'd like to talk about Isaac Brown.
Ah, Isaac. You knew Isaac?
Sort of, yes. I'm looking into his death.
Really? That was almost 5 years ago. Why the sudden interest?
Let's just say that I have a personal interest in clearing it up.
Some biographical details that you guys might be interested in. Joseph Mitchell was known for speaking very slowly and hesitantly and had a tendency to stumble over his words. It was said about him that it was a good thing he did not write the way he spoke. And I obviously didn't speak that way because it wouldn't have been a very interesting listening experience for you guys. So I gave a little bit of creative license there. Hope I can be forgiven.
Anything else you can tell me about
Sure
Isaac?
can.
Why do you want to write about him?
I don't want to go too in depth. Out of respect, you understand?
Sure.
I was drawn to him for I felt he had a story.
Really?
Miss Blackwell walked down the Bowery in 1 hour.
So what was Isaac's story? I know he played in a band called the Sea. What was it?
Listen, have you tried asking Mr. Sharp?
Yes. He's not talking.
I don't blame him. He's probably feeling guilty.
Guilty? Why?
He has his reasons.
Could you, I don't know, tell me what those reasons are?
I can't do that.
Of course he can't.
Mr. Mitchell,
Listen, I don't like this. I don't feel comfortable talking about people without their consent. I won't say any more about
Sister.
Sister?
Please, I'm not gonna say anymore.
Who was Isaac's sister?
I told you, not another word.
I'd like to read your piece about Isaac.
Well, I'm afraid I can't. I never published it.
You didn't?
No, it seemed a bit in bad taste.
Since when do reporters care about bad taste?
Since when do reporters care about bad taste?
You don't have a high opinion of journalists, do you?
Well, you hear things.
Oh no, don't worry about it. I'm well aware of the stereotype. I've written about deceased persons before, but Isaac, well, I felt the man deserved some peace.
If you felt his story could reach people, Enrich them, as you say. Why didn't you publish the story?
Listen, Miss Blackwell. Isaac didn't just die, he was murdered. Someone reached around his neck and strangled the life right out of him. That puts a bit of a damper on the story I want.
So nobody will hear the story.
All my notes on him have been destroyed. Isaac's story might not have reached the people.
About Isaac Brown,
I told you.
are you sure?
No, I've never.
I think that's all.
Alright, you have a good night now.
Alright. Maybe I should ask this guy, I don't remember. Does he know
Hi again.
about her?
Hi yourself.
Do you know anything about Isaac Brown's?
Sorry, I barely knew that.
Okay.
Thanks for the help. I
That
might be
was
back
much.
later.
No problem.
Cecil,
What?
I need to speak to you about Isaac's sister.
You? That's it! You've crossed the line, sister. It was fun for a while, but now.
Ooh, now you've done it.
Look, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry and enough, sister. Leave.
I'll leave, but I'll be back.
You really have a way with the fellas, kid. Ah, don't sweat it. His bark is worse than his bite.
Okay, I think here. Yeah, you had so much to enjoy.
I know that expression. Only time a man gets a look like that is when he's hung up over a woman. Go easy on him, huh? I think he cares more about that gal than he lets on.
Okay.
You just don't give up, do you?
We need to talk. You loved her, didn't you?
Of course I loved her. She was our heart and soul. I would have. Damn you, woman. I just want to play this piano and forget you. Why don't you just leave me alone?
So what happened, C? It's very important that you tell me.
All right. All right. I don't know who you are or why you're so interested, but you're never going to leave me alone.
No, I won't. You were in a band together, right?
Yeah, we had a band. Then she died. Then he died. End of story.
What was Isaac really like?
That fat. He was good on the sax, but that was the end of his good point. He drank. He was violent, but Sarah could calm him down. She was the only one. If it wasn't for Sarah, I never would have kept him around.
What happened to Isaac after Sarah died?
He went to pieces. He couldn't cope. Drank way too much. I tried to stick with him out of her. Let's face it. He was a big, dumb.
So you cut ties with Isaac?
Completely. Told him he was a drunk and a lowlife, and which was, let's face it, totally true.
What happened?
He beat me senseless, knocked me out with the sax I bought for. Then he became a bum. Spent the rest of his life living on the streets of Roosevelt Island till he got killed by some drifter.
How did you meet Isaac's sister?
First of all, her name was Sarah. I was looking to start a band, and I saw them perform together. She could sing like... It was such energy, such a waste.
What happened to Sarah?
She got sick, pneumonia or something. She got better after a while, but something. Doctor said she would never sing again. After that, the spark just went out. She hung on for a few months, but she just lost the will to live.
Anything else you can tell me about Sarah?
I loved that woman. Even when she lost her voice, I would have given up everything for her. Heck, I would have even let her brother live with us. I should have told her.
About Sarah.
I told you, please.
Yeah, it does much.
See you later.
Right.
Yeah. You know, all this talk reminds me of
Oh,
something.
yes.
Sarah and Isaac would always play this song.
Really?
Yeah.
She'd sing and he'd play the saxophone?
No, she'd actually play the piano, if you can believe. She wasn't great, but she loved playing with Isaac. Isaac loved that silly. They never let me join them, but it was kind of sweet. In a way. Oh, well.
Cecil?
What?
What was the duet?
Oh, it was just a short little thing. Isaac would just improv the whole thing. Went something like... After Sarah died, Isaac would play gigs but refused to leave the stage. He'd blow on his sax playing anything that came to mind, feet planted like a statue.
He'd just keep playing?
He'd play forever if I didn't get 4 guys to drag him off. I think he was waiting for Sarah to play with him. He was supposed to finish each show. In his heart, he refused to believe she was dead.
Could you play that song again?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I think I've recorded enough.
Okay, I have no idea what that was, but alright. Go to the guy. Maybe even save a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And bread to him.
Originally, this puzzle was a little bit different. The idea was you were to get the name of the song from Cecil, and then you would go to Jambalaya Records, look at the poster on the wall to get the radio station of get the name of a jazz radio station. You'd go to your radio, you'd turn to that jazz radio station, you would get the number of a song request line, you'd call up that number, and you would give him the name of the song, you'd bring the radio to Isaac, and then you'd play the song and you'd solve the puzzle that way. This I thought was stupid. After a while I realized it was a stupid idea, so I got rid of it and decided to use the dictaphone instead.
Aye. Sis? Is that you, sis? I've been waiting for so long.
No, Isaac, I'm not your sister. She couldn't come.
No, she couldn't, could she? My sister's dead, isn't she?
Yeah.
Now I'm dead, too.
Yeah.
I knew that. Deep down, I knew that. I just couldn't let go.
I'm sorry.
Is that why you two are here? To help me let go?
That's what we do best.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do.
What we do.
Don't worry. Just leave everything to us.
One thing I hate to do, and I guess this commentary kind of defeats the purpose, but I hate tooting my own horn and sounding all narcissistic, but I do have to say I love the story of Isaac and his sister. I love this story. I find it very sweet and bittersweet and kind of sad and everything. And this is what I love about ghost stories in general. This is why I write ghost story games. Good ghost stories are always really sad. They're always really bittersweet because they always involve death usually, and because of that they always involve pain, loss, regret, something left undone, and also involves a second chance in some way, like a way to reconnect with someone you've lost or something. There's always some nice raw human emotion in a good ghost story, and I think that the story of Isaac and his sister captures that really well, or at least makes a good-hearted attempt. And again, I don't want to be all narcissistic and egocentric, so I have to negate all that by saying that this game sucks. You should be doing something else. There we go. That erased all the narcissism.
Okay. Sure. Alright.
Here, just take this.
Whatever you say.
Hold on tight. This is the fun part.
So let's talk about node space. This was really cool.
Thank you. It was one of the more fun ones to design. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but I thought the node space in the other game was good, but kind of boring for what it should have been. I wanted Lauren's walkway to be a bit more wacky and weird, And
Yeah, this
because
is the same one I'm gonna
Rosa, I
skip
think,
it.
is a very straight-laced character.
Hi, Isaac.
Hey, this is it, huh?
Yep, eternity, the white
Uh-huh.
light, the passage into the next world.
It is something, alright. Still can't believe I'm dead. Crazy old lady, she killed me.
Old lady.
Said she wanted to hurt me. Then goes and chokes me. Why'd she want to go and do a thing like that?
I'm sorry, I wish I knew.
I don't think it matters anyway. It's time I joined my sis.
Just head into the light.
Thanks, honey. You've been real kind. And tell your friends sorry for the crack on the head.
Right. Another day, another spirit gone to their rest. Rest. Well, that's a nice word.
You alright?
Yeah, fine. I'm exhausted. Call it a night?
Sounds good to me.
You.
Like clockwork.
You saved him?
Yeah, sure we did. No thanks to you.
We've got some questions for you, lady.
Why did you kill Isaac and Mavis?
I didn't kill them. I'm like you.
You're nothing like us. We don't kill.
I help spirits into the next world, like you.
You mean you're a medium?
Yes,
But you can't be.
I am like you.
Wait, no. This doesn't make any sense. Why are you killing people?
I save people. I don't hurt them.
Get back here! Stupid old hag! Let's get after her.
I'm a dog owner now. I've got a Boston Terrier named Cooper, and this dog took a big shine to Stephanie Cox Williams, the woman playing the Countess. Stephanie was trying to deliver this very intense, very focused, sometimes quite emotional performance, all while this little Boston Terrier was trying to lick her on the face, jump into her lap, rubbing his head against her legs. Apparently she owns cats, which is maybe he's smelling the cats. I don't know. But it was very distracting. I kept laughing. Stephanie, however, was a total professional, very focused, managed to tune out the dog, and delivered a very, very strong performance.
God damn it.
Your nose okay?
That lamppost should not have been there.
Yes, I admit, this is very obviously a cop-out. If I had the liberty of a budget and a full-time professional art team, I would have loved to include some kind of chase sequence where you chase the Countess and blah blah blah. But, you know, I'm on a budget here. This is how it had to be.
It's okay. Just fine.
I'm not moving from the...
I wonder what would a chase sequence have been like? Would there be a person while chasing, or just something like a cutscene? I don't know.
Feeling better?
I'm so confused, Joey. I feel like the answer is on the tip of my tongue. I just can't figure it out.
Well, let's
Well,
chat
figure it
brainstorm
out.
a bit. Maybe we'll come up with something.
She's a medium. It makes no sense.
It does make sense, actually. She's not an animal or another ghost. The only way she could see me is if she was a medium like you.
Why would a medium kill?
Maybe she doesn't think of it as killing. She did say she helped people, saved them.
By killing them?
Maybe she felt they were better off.
I don't think so. Mavis and Isaac were sad mixed up, but they didn't deserve to die.
Maybe she thinks otherwise.
If she's a medium, where is her...
You know, I wondered that myself. I'm your connection to the spirit world. The Countess, or whoever she is, doesn't have that. Or at least none that we can see.
Is it possible to be a medium without a guide?
I don't think so, sweetheart. That's one thing I'm sure of. Medium and guide. That's how it works.
Is she my future?
What do you mean?
That woman, the Count... Is that what happens to mediums when they get old?
I don't know, darling. I really don't. But I won't let that happen to you. You have my word on that.
What could have happened to her?
I don't know.
I thought you couldn't leave my side.
I know. Either her spirit guide managed to escape,
Or what?
or it was killed.
Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't think I want to.
So what could her connection be?
Dunno. Something has to connect her to the spirit world. It's not another ghost or we would see it. So it must be something else. Something that has a connection to everything we've seen.
Or someone.
Yeah, that's it. The Countess can... There has to be something or someone else that has...
Okay, let's read all the wrong names.
Cecil Sharp?
Nah, he knew Isaac, but he didn't know Mavis.
Dwayne?
That music guy? No, it couldn't be him. He didn't know Mavis and barely knew Isaac at all.
Harriet Sherman?
Well, she's certainly old enough to know the Countess. But I don't think so. She knew Mavis, but not Isaac.
Sam Durkin?
I don't think that kid has anything to do with this. He knew Mavis, obviously, but he has no connection to Isaac that I can see.
Joseph Mitchell?
Bingo!
The reporter? How could he have...
I don't know how he got the power. He wrote about both Mavis and... He seems like the best candidate.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Think about it. You're a medium.
Listen to misogynistic ghosts all day.
Look, I'm trying to be serious for once.
We get a lead, investigate, and ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's part of it, but what?
We help spirits into the next world.
Exact. A medium needs a... Hers is gone. Somehow Mitchell fills in the gap. Our Countess is being told through Mitchell's writing to help. It's not her fault they're still alive.
You mean...
I think you get the picture.
Oh God, that's sick.
It makes sense, though.
How is this possible?
There's only one way to find out. It's time we paid our friend Mitchell one more visit.
Alright, let's go. Let's pay him one more visit.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Be right back. Alright, let's see. Road Mitchell.
Hello? Oh, I'll just be a second.
Well, if you do have a...
Thanks, but I...
Go on.
Mind if I smoke?
Well, actually...
Thanks.
Miss Blackwell, my patience is wearing thin. My family is waiting for me. Tell me what you want.
Doing voice acting for games is difficult. I feel bad for the actors sometimes because the script is so non-linear. There's no logical progression, usually. Things can be said in any order, and especially in the way it's scripted, you could have a whole bunch of different emotional responses all lumped together in the same area. Like here, Lauren comes into Mitchell's office and she's kind of pissed off and very confrontational, but within the code that comes right after Lauren just comes in and says hello very neutrally. So Danny would often have to change emotion on a dime without any real context within the script. And I imagine it's very challenging for an actor to do that. And she managed to pick it up really quickly. When we first sat down, she needed context for every single little line, but after a while she kind of got the gist of it. I just let her read, and if anything required a little bit more direction, I'd interrupt her and give her the instruction, and she would just go. So I do think that doing voice acting for games for an actor is a real skill.
Mr. Mitchell, 2 people are dead.
So I get...
You wrote...
Yes, I did.
You don't find...
I've written about hundreds of... The fact that 2 of them happen to be... It's just a coincidence.
Funny thing about my life, Mr. Mitchell, if something looks like a coincidence...
Well, I hate to disappoint you.
Ooh, look at the sweat on this guy's brow. If he ain't lying, I'm dying, so to speak.
So to speak.
You aren't a very good liar.
And you are poking your nose into things you don't understand.
You'd be surprised at... Try me.
Who are you anyway? You come in, out of the blue.
All of what?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I write about people and they die. Can you understand that? My whole life I've been driven to write about people. Now I kill them instead.
You've done nothing wrong. There's a woman called the Countess. She kills whoever you write about.
A countess killing people that I write about. That's a tall story, and that's a lot to take in. Why would she do something like...
Probably because of your connection to humanity.
You said probably, so you're not.
Not as such, no.
Well then, I appreciate you trying, but...
Oh, look at this. Was the right one? I don't know.
Don't you want to write again?
Oh yes, but people are safe as long as I don't write about it. I've always wanted to try handed fiction. Had a story. I'll probably give it a whirl, see how... But no more deaths. Not on my watch.
I can't leave it alone, Mr.
Oh, rest assured you can. You seem like a capable young lady, and I'm sure you think you know what's... But I don't want any more deaths on my...
You finished your writing for the day, Mr.
Yes, yes I have.
He's full of hot air. The page is blank.
You haven't written anything today, have...
Why do you say that?
The paper is blank.
What? How do you know?
I have exceptional eyesight.
There's dust. Don't forget the dust.
And there's dust on the typewriter.
Well, can't contradict you there.
So?
So, I don't think that's it now, if you'll excuse me.
If you won't help me, I'll have to go.
Oh, and tell them what...
All those deaths, all killed the same... I'm sure they'd be interested in that.
Is that right? Well, I'd be careful if I...
Careful?
I'm not without defenses, if you know.
Is that a threat? Are you threatening to write about me?
I didn't say anything.
You know what? Go right ahead.
What do you mean?
You want to write so bad? Write about me. Dust off that typewriter and get to work. Knock yourself out.
Listen, I spoke out of turn. I didn't honestly mean...
Hell with that. Just do it.
Hey, this is dangerous.
I know what I'm doing.
I can't do it.
Like hell you can. You've been writing for how long? 30 years? More? I know you can do it. I want to meet this thing head on. It's the...
You don't know what you're asking.
What's the worst that could happen?
You could die.
Oh.
Oh. Is that all?
Is that all?
But...
Quiet.
Nice. Okay.
Right. I was born in Troy, upstate New York. My mother's name was Patricia. My father... You getting this stuff down?
For those of you interested in behind-the-scenes drama and stuff, we were just about to record this whole section where Lauren's all pissed off and confrontational, and something happened, whether one of our phones rang or something happened. I had to pause the software. Audacity is what we use, and then I forgot to unpause it, and we went through the whole friggin' thing, and then I went to check it, and then I realized we hadn't recorded any of it. So that was a moment where my life was in horrible danger, a moment where Danny was not too pleased with me. But we just bucked up, did it again, and since we had practiced it, you could call it a rehearsal, we got through it pretty quickly the second time, and the performance was probably better for it. So maybe I should do that type of thing more often.
Oh, I would advise against it.
Well, I hope you're happy.
I'm never happy. I'm not moving.
Hey. When do you think she'll get here?
I don't know. I feel her coming though. She knows who I am.
How can you feel?
I just do. She was right. Maybe mediums call out.
Well, she can see and hear me, so I can help. You're not alone.
Yeah.
You understand? You're not
I'm
alone.
tired, Joey. I'm so tired.
So, any thought on how to handle her?
Nope. Not a one. I just want to talk to her.
Well, she can see and hear me, so I can...
Yeah.
You understand?
I'm tired. I'm so tired.
All right.
Yeah.
She's here. So polite of her to knock.
I know you.
Yes. You know me. Come in.
I'm watching you.
So. What's your story?
I want to help you.
Help me, huh?
You're in pain?
Who are you?
I am the Countess.
You're bonded with Joseph.
Is that his name? The guide who is not a guide? Yes. The non-guide. He tells me what to do. Oh, he is so often silent. It's been years since I heard him. But tonight, I heard him. He told me to help you.
He didn't tell you that.
Why else would I'm here to help you.
You're here to kill me.
No! I don't kill. I will set you free.
Hey, watch it, lady.
Do you have a guide? The spirit guide?
I still feel her. She is gone, but not completely gone.
What do you mean?
Kid, her mind is snapped. She's not gonna make any sense.
Yes. She snapped she went away, and my world, I see everything. It hurts.
Were you like me before your spirit guide went away?
Like you?
You know, sane.
Joey.
I was happy. I was smaller, saw the world in muted colors, and there was music. Sweet music. We helped people. It felt good. Now she is gone. Now I help people, but it feels bad.
Will I become like you? Please tell me. That's all I want to know.
You
Loved? Loved by who?
You are in pain. Let me help.
Accept her help.
Yes. Please help me.
Oh, my child. It will all be over soon. You need to be free.
Hey, let her go, you damn it! I can't do anything. Fight her! Lauren, fight back! Fight back, damn you!
When I first started designing this series back in 2004, I kind of went a little overboard with the backstory. I knew that the Countess and Lauren had a confrontation, and during that confrontation, Lauren stabs the Countess in the eye with a cigarette, and I'm glad I got to show it, because it's something I've been waiting to see for 3 years. So it might have grossed you out, but man, I love seeing it. And the blood was actually Erin's idea. She asked me if I wanted it grisly, and I said, yeah, let's make it grisly. I wasn't quite expecting the blood, but I like it.
All right, that's what happens when you mess with us. Stay away from her.
No, she needs my help.
Hey, you want to help someone? Why don't you help me? You want to free a spirit? Well, I'm the real McCoy.
You?
Yeah, that's right. Come and save me. I'm right here.
Wait. I'm supposed to help her. Oh, my head.
I'm waiting.
I'll save you.
I'm in pain. What are you gonna do about it?
I can help you.
You're past your prime. I don't think you can handle it.
You.
Come on, then. Make with the saving.
You need me?
Come on. Take me to the place with the bright light.
I can help you.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for?
I want to help you. Why won't you let me help you?
Joey? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I can't look. Is she?
Yeah.
There's no...
No ghost. She's gone.
Gone. I killed her.
It was either her or you, darling. You made the right choice.
Did I? What if that's me one day? What if I'm old and confused?
You won't be alone. I'll make sure of that.
You say that now, but look at her. Her guide was gone.
I can't speak for the future, kid. Maybe someday we'll meet someone like her. But right here, right now, I'm here, and I'm staying put. That's something, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's something.
Okay.
This is a bad idea. You don't need to do this.
Hello?
Hi, Jack?
Lauren, sis, is that you?
Yeah, Jack. It's me.
Where have you been?
It's not important. I miss you. Tell me about your life, Jack. How's Maria? When's the wedding?
This is a really bad idea.
When the sun sets quietly o'er the sea, when the stars shine on a sad old memory, that's when solitude begins. When the moon casts shadows in the night, when a love says that her love has died, that's when solitude begins. I'm gonna find someone who needs me, someone like you, like you. But when day breaks, I turn around to see that your shadow was nothing else but me. That's when solitude begins.
Special code, real ugly. Okay, I thought these were some cheats. It's actually the
I guess it's
code
become a
from
Wadget Eye
Google.
tradition to give you some final thoughts when the credits roll during this commentary. And I guess what's interesting about this game is that my attitude towards it kind of changed. I originally started making this game for purely capitalist reasons. It had been a long time since my previous game came out. It had been about 5 or 6 months, and I knew it was going to be another 6 months or so before the next one could come out because the Blackwell Convergence was pretty large, and I knew I had to get something else out in the meantime, just to tide people over, get people's attention back on me, generate some interest and publicity, and more importantly, bring some money in because I was running out. So I deliberately wanted to keep everything reasonably simple in order to facilitate it getting it out quick. But my attitude towards this game really changed while I was making it. As I got really enmeshed in the dialogue writing, the coding, all of the blocking and everything, working with the actors and everything, as time went on, I really got emotionally involved in the characters. And it's not something I was expecting. It really did take a life on its own. And I really do think that gameplay-wise, this game is probably one of the best things I've done. It's very hard in adventure games to reach that point between gameplay and storytelling, because either you get too much gameplay, so many puzzles that the story suffers, or there's too much story and there's not a lot of stuff for the player to actually do. And I think if I didn't quite hit that sweet spot between the two, I've come closer than I ever have. So in that respect, this game was such a major learning experience for me. It really was a lot of fun to work on it. It was the first game I worked on where I wasn't totally sick of it by the end. So I think that's a good sign. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed playing it. And that is really it, guys. That's it. So until next time, thanks for playing.
When the sun sets see when the stars shine on a sad old memory. That's when solitude.
Wait, what? Oh, really?
Sounds a bit out of tune.
Good. One more time. Could be. It's also you're looking for any excuse you can to not like this guy.
Yeah. Sounds a bit out of tune.
Good.
Sam, it's been so long. Look at you. Huh?
No, that was good. Do restrain yourself a bit. Like you're so happy
Oh,
to
I'm
see
a
him.
refined woman. I should not be.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're kind of surrounded by death all the time, and the fact that this plant refuses to live is kind of a personal attack on you.
Okay, so someone's kind of attacking. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can nurse this thing back to health. Just needs a little more time.
Good.
Do it again.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I'll let you listen to music later.
This is like the one aspect of her life that you have control over.
Yeah.
So this is like, be a little, be a little proud of it. Too.
Okay.
Like I'll let you.
I'll let you listen to music later.
Yeah, like this is the one thing you have control over.
Okay.
Do you know Isaac Brown's sister?
No, Sam.
You say it like maybe like this is his girlfriend.
Ah, my boy's got a girl. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know Isaac Brown's sister?
No, Sam. Is she a friend of yours?
Yeah.
I don't kill. I save.
Could you be really offended? Like, I don't kill. Like, you know you killed them, but you're not a killer.
Okay.
So you're like, I don't kill.
I don't kill. I save.
Perhaps you'll need it later. Perhaps doesn't feel very Joey. No.
What do you think you should say?
Just like it's a little too much of a a polite word.
Okay.
You know, just something like, you know, you might need it later, or maybe you need it later. I don't know, something.
Okay, yeah.
We just do it a couple of ways.
She kind of creeps me out.
Could you be it takes a lot to creep you out. So could you be kind of surprised?
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
wow, she kind of creeps me out.
She kind of creeps me out.
Everything you say will be recorded.
Better be good.
Yes.
Okay. This is me doing levels. This is probably the loudest that I will talk. I would doubt that I would ever talk louder than this. Let's check it out. How about that? You like it? I like it a lot.
They want to fight? Bring it on. Bring on, bitches.
Alright, anyway. Keep going.
Honey, me's a pee-pee in the poo-poo. Sorry, that was a little Jar Jar Binks sauce right there.
You know what? Let's do this whole
Anna.
yeah, let's do both games over and you do it all like Jar Jar.
How about that? I think that doing Jar Jar...
Jar Jar Malone.
Because I remember, like, I think there was one or two reviews where they were like, you know, Joey's a little flat. And I think what could really solve that is putting in a little Jar Jar sauce.
Yeah.
Just spreading that on.
Read this next line like Jar Jar.
Which one? Okay. No, Misa can't leave the kid's side. Anna will leave here till she dies. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. I'll read it like Itty on Me, and that'll work beautifully. The last king of Blackwell. Okay.
Alright.
Business, because that's what we do. Okay.
I'll take the sax and shove it right up.
Give me that.
That.
Thank you for calling the New Yorker.
Okay, good. Let's rock Joey style.
Saw the world in me. Oh shoot! I hate going into that accent. Okay.
Saw the world in
Muted colors.
Okay, can you talk for me?
Yes, I can talk for you. Apparently I can't because I just stuttered that.
We're professionals.
What you want? What you want with my sis? What you want with my sis? What you want with my sis? Okay, I better not do that.
That was really good.
Thanks.
That's really good.
No breathing.
Okay, so.
Not unless you mean my mother. Not unless you mean my mother.
You'll be dead if you. Yeah, there, let's do it. I was trying to look at you. I'm like, can't look at you. I gotta look at the script. We're not actually acting. Look at the page. I'm sorry.
Aw, how sweet. Maybe his mommy signed it for him. Okay.
A little less gay.
Okay, yeah.
Perhaps. Like,
Guy tries to gay it up. We'll see what happens.
My gosh, she's a chain smoker. I like her. I don't smoke, but I like her. I sound like I do.
Okay.
I feel for her.
Look at her. Not a flicker of interest on her face. She wouldn't recognize good music if it fucked her in the ear. All right, let me try that again. Sorry. Impulse. Okay. Don't go with impulse. Read script. Okay. I was about to say, Dave just got a thyroid condition when I did that. Okay. Kid, touch me. Touch me in exactly the right place. You make me feel like a natural poltergeist. We've looked through this paper already. We got all the leads we need. Ooh, real estate.
Dead and buried. You're a goat. Too many carrots. Wow. Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Keep going. Keep going.
Woo. All right.
You could use a good slap. Oh, that was weird. I just hit puberty.
You have no idea how much I'm being paid, do you, people? I got pizza today. That's how you know it's a pro job. It's when you get a couple of slices. I got 2 toppings on one of them and a snap of lemon iced tea.
Yeah, because I do believe in treating my actors to the very best.
Absolutely.
Wow.
When we're not being kept below decks.
Ooh. I know about this one. Be prepared.
Oh God! That was probably too bad. Like, okay, let's try that.
All right,
oh God!
Okay, not so bad.
Can I get some water? Oh, you did? Jeez, I didn't even see it. It was just so black. I take my water like I take my men. Black. All right.
Okay.
Sarah, what happened? You've turned white. Okay, let's just. Is this a funny line? Is this meant to be funny? Or is it just a line, and if it's funny, it happens to be funny?
Yeah, one of those.
Okay, okay, okay.
How are you gonna? How would that change?
Well, I mean, of course, the funny way. You've turned white. So not that reading.
No, not like that.
Whoever that is, I can't see him. Especially with such a pleasant distraction getting in the way.
Yes.
Oh, wait, actually, hang on. You try looking around those. Never mind. Forget that I said that. All right.
And I'm talking louder, talking quiet, talking, and talk. And so, yeah.
Good. Good talks were had those days.
There she is, eyeing the bar.
Maybe a little less breathy.
Yeah.
Just the is.
Yeah. There is only Sewell. All right.
Yeah, I tend to skip stuff, but you can pick this up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. Some actors, they require a lot of direction. You don't require much, so that's good.
Get that on tape. See, you got it. You got it. Send it out.
I was happy.
Can you do that again? Just the breath.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to do this voice without breathing so much, but if you could just not breathe, that would be great.
Okay, great.
Okay. Good. Just leave a little bit more of a pause there.
Okay, yeah.
The dog stops.
Slurping.
Yeah, there it goes. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Oh, it happens.
She is gone, but not completely gone.
It's funny doing this voice. It's like my sinuses are clearing. That's why I'm like clear. It's like, oh, I'm basically clearing my throat.
I'm glad to do it.
Yes, exactly. This is great. One of my ears just popped a little bit. It's awesome. All right.
Ugh. I think there's something growing in there. Oh God, it has ears. Okay, all right, let me try a couple of those. Oh, it's talking to me in spore language. All right, cool. All right.
No, visitors must
Wait,
knock
what?
or ring the bell. That's the way it's done.
Turning British.
I'm turning British? Sorry, man. I'm getting all arrogant now. Okay, let me try it again.
The name is Bouquet.
Okay, I gotta stick up my ass like no tomorrow. I'm British.
Like, whoosh. All right.
Where did I click? What did I click on? I have no idea. Alright. One more time. Just why not?
No, visitors must knock or ring the bell. That's the way it's done.
Turning British.
I'm turning British? Sorry, man. I'm getting all arrogant now. Okay, let me try it again.
The name is Bouquet.
Okay, I gotta stick up my ass like no tomorrow. I'm British.
Like, whoosh. All right.
Oh yes, I was a horrible flirt back in my younger days.
How old are you?
I'm not that old.
Please.
I like to say that though, preparing for later days when it's true.
Guys, you just missed out on this awesome thing where Dave freed up some disk space. I mean, it was amazing.
It was riveting.
It's one of those things that, like, obviously, if you don't design games, maybe it's not so funny for you. But like, this is really private game designer humor. Like that one time with Binary. Oh man, that was good.
Oh my God.
That Binary was awesome.
Just had to be there.
Seriously, 110001.
Dude.
Oh my God, I'll stop.
Please.
Really, I mean, this will just get embarrassing.
Cecil. It's like seashells. Cecil. Cecil Sharp?
Say Cecil Sharp 3 times.
No.
You're not up to the challenge.
Slowly, I'll do it.
Slowly, okay.
Cecil Sharp?
Okay, say it one more time.
Cecil. Cecil.
That's just me being mean.
Cecil.
It's not. It's kind of, you're like so delusional. You want to pretend that there is a door between yourself and the outside world.
Yeah, like my mom and her selective amnesia.
Really? I think that's I think they hand that to you and become a mom.
I don't think my daughter's trying to talk to me now, is she? Oh no, not after what she said last night. No.
Okay.
I can't say I'm hurting and in pain. That's literally the same thing.
I don't think he's thinking. All right.
I am wearing a purple shirt, and my shirt is purple. All right.
I'm doing basically it's my Louis Armstrong impression, just not sung. I see trees of green, red roses too.
God, I'm just belching a lot today. It's really good. It gets out the bad acting. Ow! 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 Ah! Ooh! Oh! Ah!
It's possible to sigh without so much breath.
Well, a sigh is a breath. It's just, it's like, honestly, there's no way of not breathily sighing.
Yeah.
A sigh is a mildly voiced breath.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't want you to get started.
Yeah.
I could do scratch, yeah. I had a cigarette before I came today.
You did.
Just for this purpose. I don't hurt them!
Cooper! That's okay, because I said hurt. So, yeah, that's fine.
Ooh, creating the perfect scream. Okay, this will be tough. I will lower my volumes. I advise you to do the same. And here goes. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, let me bring the levels down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do a few.
Okay.
Can you make it sharp and quick?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Alright.
I think soldiers were. Okay. Words confuse me. Okay. He's written something at the top of the sheet. Property of Cecil Sharpay. Okay, I know. Cecil Sharpay. Oh, woe is me. I'm in so much torment. Save me, you asshole. All right, hold on.
Why don't you just leave me alone?
That was really nice. Okay, let's do it again.
Okay.
That's perfect. That was really good. And here I'm yawning. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not sleeping enough. It's like, oh, great. That was not intentional. Sorry.
It's okay.
Right.
Let's rock, let's roll, Blackwell City Patrol. That's Joey. That's Joey. That's Joey. Weekends on the CW.
That's 70s Joey.
That's 70s Joe.
Alright, let's.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course, because I'm suddenly magically turning British.
Oh, damn you, Spike, and all your. Okay.
I'm upset. Yeah, great observation. Never do that one again. Yeah, that was a little bit too overly articulated. Yeah, great observation.
I just.
Shut it. Let me do it again. Okay, yeah, that's on the blooper reel.
Burning the midnight. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay, you want me to read just this stuff right here? The Joey, what's your kid's name? You're pressing me. Blah. No, I don't know his last name. And there's not much I can do. I don't even know what I'm reading, but I'm just reading that.
Hey, see.
Hello there. That one was stupid. You gotta throw in a little stupid every now and then.
Hey there. That was a little game show hosting. Mavis, you've just won passage to the next realm.
Hello? You? I thought I told you not to call.
You know, I was expecting this major struggle to try to get you sound like an old lady, but that is perfect.
Oh, good, good. I was thinking, like, it was funny because the second I started reading this on my computer at work, I was just like, oh my god, I feel like I know the voice that has to go with it. And it was just like, why should I help you? Why would I want to help anybody?
You got a bit of Jimmy Stewart.
You know, I'll try not to do that.
That was the lamest sigh ever. It was like a Jabba the Hutt fart. Ah, no, not anymore. Cutbacks. I'm a liar. All right. I lie like a Persian rug.
Wait, what?
It's me, your husband. I've come back. Keep it rolling. Dave, you're really disgusting. I just want you to know that you are a repulsive and your dog's licking his own genitals. This is a den of sin.
I never published it. I ate it.
Well then. Oh, there's no more? Nope. That's how it starts, I guess. I love this one. This is the best. Ooh, there's even convergence out here. How come? Almost means some sentence. I don't know if I'm going to visit the dailies. I don't know how long they are. I'll play some. investigate from the start. Okay. And what's here?
So you, let's talk about Lauren first, because you sent a whole chunk of sprite designs for her originally.
Sketches, yeah, there's kind of an evolution there.
Yeah, like you originally gave her earrings, you had different colors.
Yeah,
and-
well, I gave her big hoopy earrings, but they ended up making her look a bit too young for how she should have been. As she is, she kind of looks a bit young, but that's okay. You know, people would rather play as.
She's only like 30. She's not that old. So you, let's talk about Lauren first, because you sent a whole chunk of sprite designs for her originally.
Sketches, yeah, there's kind of an evolution there.
Yeah, like you originally gave her earrings, you had different colors.
Yeah,
and-
well, I gave her big hoopy earrings, but they ended up making her look a bit too young for how she should have been. As she is, she kind of looks a bit young, but that's okay. You know, people would rather play as.
She's only like 30. She's not that old.
You're 30, aren't you?
I am 30. I'm 31. Thank you.
Well, Lauren had a bunch of different colored skirts that we tried to decide on. Plus, she used to have shoulders like a football player. But anyway, that was more 80s, I guess. Yeah, hopefully we can throw that one in there for people to look at.
She's kind of intimidating, but you know.
Yeah, Joey, I originally tried to give him pinstripes, but that's hard to do with pixels, so I ended up just going with a similar palette to the one Big Brother used for the other game.
So did you find it easy? The fact that he already existed, did that make it like you already had a reference picture of him?
It kind
that
of
made it
hard
harder?
because these sprites are bigger than the other ones, and so it was, I don't know, working. Like pixel faces are hard anyway, but trying to do it in a different size in the other game, I couldn't really use that as reference. Plus, you know, the other game like looked really good already, so I'm like, geez, I have to live up to that. So pressure was on.
Yeah, Isaac. Yeah, because you he wasn't entirely like I sent you a reference sketch, but you did make a couple of changes. So like you gave him a beard for one thing, like, and I didn't ask you to do that, but it looks really good.
Oh, thanks.
What made you decide to give him a beard?
Well, it's funny because like you sent me the design document with, you know, the plot and everything and the places I had to make, and then I'm like, cool. What does Isaac look like? I'm picturing a big black guy. You're like, did you scroll down to see the description of the characters? I'm like, I did not. So I scrolled down, but by the time I got there, I'd already had this picture in my head. So yeah.
The happy accident. He looks really good.
Yeah, cool.
Next on my list is Dwayne.
Dwayne. Yep. I had to struggle with what he was wearing. I originally tried to put him in a plaid suit because I have a picture of my dad from the 70s and he's wearing this great beige plaid suit, but unfortunately I couldn't make it work with the resolution. So I just gave him some yellow sunglasses and like baby blue and pink.
Damn that low res. And now we got Joseph Mitchell, who was based on a real life person.
Yep.
So how was working from that?
Oh, bald guys are pretty easy. Hair is tricky to do in pixels, so that was a nice break. Mavis. Yeah, she was a bit tricky because I wanted her to look like a housewife, but at the same time look kind of crazy enough to be a ghost, and a ghost of a crazy person, so I kind of went with something kind of domestic. I almost put an apron on her, but it would have gotten kind of lost in the design, so yep, just a 70s type dress.
Cool. What
the
about
ghosts,
the hair?
like, sorry?
Remember you spent some time on the hair.
Yeah. I ended up with something kind of momish, so
And very 70s too.
kind of phallic if you look at it the wrong way. But anyway, we'll not talk about that.
You know, I didn't notice that before, and I'm not going to be able.
I was on the
I'm not
fence.
be able to look at this the same.
I was on the fence about saying that. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna fix it now. It's fine.
Oh, fantastic! Now I'm going to be. Anyway, let's move
I
on.
have my check. There's no, you're not getting anything else.
All right. Well, Harriet. I haven't totally seen the finished Harriet, but you're still working on it, right?
Yep, she's old lady in a sweater and some khakis. I don't know. She's got big old grandma glasses on too. Supposed to look very endearing, but apparently, according to the dialogue, she's an old battle axe. So hopefully, we can work that in there too.
I think the brandy sniffed her.
Yeah, perhaps it will be ironic that she's sitting there in this beautiful, you know, grandmotherly apartment, and she's, you know, extorting money from Lauren. But anyway.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Cecil Sharp.
Yes, she sails on the seashore. Voice actors must have loved that one.
Oh yeah, I've made a few mistakes like that. Yeah.
But yeah, my friends were really amused. I went back home. I was showing them. I'm like, hey, I got this game thing I'm working on, and they were like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, no, it's dorky. But anyway, I'm like, so I have these sprites for this piano player named Cecil, and they were amused that I had 3 files of his animations. I had Cecil talk, Cecil play, and Cecil flirt, which is basically Cecil with an eyebrow raised and a smirk. Which I don't know. It was fun to draw. And then I remember suggesting it to you. You're like, that's great. Yeah, we can make them have different emotions. I'm like, okay, don't get carried away.
And then we got the Countess,
Yeah,
who
you
you're still
four.
working on. Yeah, right.
Countess. Yep. She looks kind of like an old, crazy lady. The way I'm drawing her now, she's got, patches on her jacket and dirt along the bottom of her skirt, and she's got a shoulder off in the jacket and doesn't really realize it. And I haven't animated her walking yet, but hopefully I can make her look flaily or something.
Now, this one took you a while, was the Joey and Isaac fighting and getting hit thing.
Yeah, that was fun to do. I was at home at the time. That was the week before Mittens when I had just gotten back from Europe and I was spending some time with the family. And, we were working in the basement on this, have this elaborate thing open in paint. And my brother, who's 19, had a bunch of his friends over who were like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, it animates, look. He hits him with a saxophone. It's a ghost and another ghost. It makes sense.
It totally makes sense. I mean, if they couldn't get it, they're just not cool enough.
Yeah, clearly they're the ones who aren't cool.
Exactly. Well, we're cool in a different way. We're a whole different level of coolness.
Yeah.
I'm making no sense. What has your overall experience been like? Has it been totally crazy?
Well, this has just been a huge chunk of my summer. I've had weird summer jobs before. This is definitely one that people kind of, I tell them and they're like, what? I'm like, well, you see, there are these games that people liked back in the early 90s, and some people still make them, and now I'm making money from it. What's not to get?
Life has been breathed into your creation.
Kind of. I see them, you can walk around and look at stuff in the apartment, and Lauren has some opinion on, some little crappy thing I do. I'm like, oh, that's cute.
So what was your, I know sounds totally narcissistic for me to ask you these questions, but what was your reaction when because you know why I asked you. I told you why I asked you to do it.
As I was a student and I was on vacation for the summer?
Well, yeah, that too, because I knew you'd have the time, and I knew you'd probably be into it, and, so, what was your reaction originally when you first...
I was really flattered, because the only thing I'd done before, game-wise, that I'd released was Spooks, and that was, I look at it now and it's the graphics make me bleed at the eyes, but I don't know, I didn't really know what I could do graphics-wise when I started this, because I'd worked on nanobots, and that is just a big, colorful, perspectiveless world, so, it was kind of fun and challenging to be able to do something that's a little more serious and down to earth, and it's been a lot of fun, actually. I can't wait to see it done. I'm sure I'm about as eager as you are.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I saw some of your screenshots, the screenshots you sent me for your sequels to Spooks.
Yeah.
Spook sequel. That's hard to say. Yeah. Yes. And what really struck me about the character art and the background was just how simple, but yet how interesting it was. And that's something I'm like, oh, she could totally do this. So when you said you doubted yourself, I'm like, I knew you could do it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Okay, and that's that. Alright, well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching and see you next time.